In a strange sequence of events, I was just on Alex Jones this afternoon discussing some of the more sensitive topics that we've been bringing forth. It's the fact that Charlie Kirk was switching up his view on Israel. And just today, or the last 24, 48 hours, Candace Owens released a series of text messages in a group chat from Charlie Kirk that revealed he definitely was leaving the Israel first position. So why was it that prominent Zionists like Josh Hammer, who were on the phone with Charlie the night before he was murdered, ended up saying that actually it wasn't true? This entire time, Charlie was never changing his view on Israel, but yet now we have the text to prove it. On top of that, what are my sources? Well, today I actually name dropped an individual who still works for, still works for them today. Their YouTube specialist who was around Charlie had heard a lot of things go on in that office and had told me a lot of things that might spark your curiosity, which we'll talk about. Plus, I mean, he was hiring several new people and working with people who were intentionally hired because he knew they were anti-Israel or that they were anti-Zionist. And he stood up to his donors at the Hamptons meeting that everyone's denying anything happened at, even though I know people that were there, and I know them well, and they wouldn't lie to me, and they've told me the truth. We have so much that we're uncovering. How is it that Candace Owens, myself, Max Blumenthal, three people who would never work together? Max would never work with two black women, so I just don't know. I mean, you literally got a Jewish leftist, you got like Candace Owens and myself sort of all coming to the same conclusion. Why? Well, because we know things, we know people, and I hope that we can release some new information today that will confirm with you the unthinkable, and you know exactly what I'm going to be getting at. We're going to prove it tonight, hopefully, to a point to where we don't have to say anything, but you can come to the right conclusion. My name is Elijah Schaefer. It is approximately 7:08 Eastern Time in the United States. This is The Rift live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right now at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you check out my interview with Alex Jones today. It was a 1.5 hour interview on his show, Band.video. Let's start the show. My name's Elijah Schaefer. Welcome back to The Rift, live, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Joining me today in the studio is our Rift TV contributor, Braeden Sorbo. Welcome back to the show. I'm
excited. Oh man, my mic's not on. Dang it. All right, there we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Rift. I don't know, Braeden Sorbo. We're having technical difficulties. Excited for you all to be here, author of Embrace Masculinity, and guy who is going to hopefully not get too heavily protested tomorrow with Elijah.
Yeah, just so you guys know, as we're, I'm going to reset my computer here because it's frozen, it doesn't work. We are going to be live tomorrow at University of Florida at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be, the flyers are on my page. And just so you know, we have been threatened, actually physically threatened. This would be the third time in about 2 weeks. Someone has said that they are intentionally either have doxed me and said they're going to murder me or have threatened to come shoot up our event. Essentially, that's what happened with a transgender activist. We'll talk about that later in the show. As we start out today, I want to start talking about something very important that isn't talked about enough, and that is what? That is the continuous gaslighting and lies and smears from the powerful Zionist mafia and lobby to discredit every single person that actually still gives a damn about what happened to Charlie Kirk. And I'm not insulting anyone who believes the official narrative, because I would love that to be true. If it was possible that there was just some random leftist who got too much fetishized into transgenderism and hated Charlie Kirk so much that he got onto a roof, evaded some of the top security in the entire world in one of the most secure events where police are literally standing behind him on the roof, got up there, assembled a rifle, shot Charlie Kirk with one shot. Charlie Kirk's magic bones stopped the bullet from having an exit wound.
30-06.
Yeah, it's a 30-06. We're not allowed to see the other footage, the other angles, but everyone else saw it and said, we can't see it. Even though we have every other front footage of him getting murdered, there's no exit wound of something that would go through two moose. It's that serious. It would blow your head off, but not him, because he had magic skin and magic bones. Mm-hmm. Then the guy disassembled the gun faster than anybody has ever disassembled that gun. While his nerves are high, while he's shot, he disassembles the gun, hides it in a bag that it couldn't fit in, reassembles it, throws it in the woods, And the same FBI that we were told a month ago is lying about Epstein about everything, suddenly they're telling the truth about this. You got to accept it, or just like COVID, if you don't take the shot, you hate science. Basically what they're telling us. If you don't accept this narrative, you're insulting Erica Kirk. And don't get me started on that. The way that people are acting around Charlie that knew him way better than I did, I find it very weird that I have contributors here who like maybe met Charlie once and seem to be more emotionally affected by the death of Charlie than his own kin. And I find that to be uncomfortable. And everybody knows it. Everybody's weirded out. And, when people like Braeden Sorbo are smiling and filling the shoes, it seems like people aren't as upset as they should be. Anyway, we're going to jump into the story for today. We're going to be talking about some insane things. Before we jump into that, though, I do want to remind you guys something very, very, very important. Don't forget, we have something we're going to be publishing later. But I wanted to give a shout out to our sponsor today, which of course is Blackout Coffee, guys. This stuff is absolutely. I finally got to try the light roast. I think this is not the light roast. The other one's the light roast. You have it right there.
I have this one, the black bag.
Yeah, that's the light roast.
Mine gets pulled over for no reason by the cops.
True, and mine is just. They say it's just better. I don't know what it is about it that makes it better.
Privilege, I think.
Yeah. So basically, this coffee is absolutely fantastic. It is the perfect flavor, perfect. What's that called? Like the texture. Like it's not. Have you ever had coffee? It's like just kind of like too thick. You ever had that? Like you don't even drink coffee, huh?
I've never had coffee. I don't like the taste.
Well, okay.
As weird as it sounds.
Well, that's not something good to say during an actual ad for coffee that we're trying to sell.
But I give coffee to my guests when people come over to my house. I give them coffee, so I will.
But this is a family-owned powerhouse that captures the essence of American grit. Starting in a humble garage 7 years ago, now boasting over 32,000 five-star reviews, which I like. I like what Mark Driscoll always says. I'm the man of 1-star and 5-star reviews. Like there's no in between.
Yes, that is a good quote from him.
This coffee has only 5 stars. It's bold brews, beyond exceptional taste, and they're fierce defenders of the Second Amendment. And they're not like Black Rifle Coffee or whatever these companies are that are fake. I'm reminding you that Black Rifle Coffee, everyone knows they're like cucks and like kind of lame. That was me that exposed that. They came after me because I defended Kyle Rittenhouse, and then they said they didn't want to be involved with defending people in the Second Amendment while they're shooting guns, and a bunch of liberals. And then they went to the the New Yorker, and then like trashed me and Patriots, said they don't want us to buy their coffee. It's like, well then don't try to sell us your coffee. So this is a company finally that saw that and was like, hey, we've been wanting to make good for a while, but I wasn't taking a new coffee sponsor. So blackoutcoffee.com/rift. Get 20% off right now today, your first order, RIFT. Join me in choosing coffee that stands for something real. BLACKOUTCOFFE.com/RIFT for 20% off. All right, let's go ahead and let's talk about this topic today that I think is so important. So, in the midst of all this, Candace Owens finally dropped some evidence, and I think we updated the clip, right? She went ahead and released these text messages, which we're gonna get into, Braeden. I just still can't load anything on this computer, so I don't know what to do on that. Oh, you have it. Okay, yeah. So let's go ahead and let's play this clip and tell me what you think. Are we good? Okay, we're not good. Sorry, I don't know, man. This computer's just broken, and it's just not.
Mine's working. I could try to pull it up. It's a little laggy.
No, it's fine. We're just can't get in the show right.
Do you want to do the highlight, the Candace Owens group chat video?
I just have a broken computer. It's like not a big deal. You know what I mean? Literally, the Mossad is breaking my computer right now.
Mike, I got the video up if you want to switch.
No.
Oh, all right.
Anyway, this is fucking annoying. It's just like, why am I starting a show with a broken computer that doesn't work? It's just like, how are we supposed to get people to watch our show? It's like nothing works when we're doing our show. It's just like ridiculous. I can't play a single piece of shit on this thing. It's like, it's crazy. Can we fix this? Like, it's like, what the fuck? All right. Anyways. Yeah. Anyways, I guess we're not watching anything on this show. But I'll go ahead and play this clip. Here we go. I'm gonna get to load. We're just gonna have problems loading this stuff. As you guys can see, I'm thrilled right now.
We need some Indians coming in for tech support.
Yeah, no, we don't need Indians in this country. Actually, it's the exact opposite. It's like we actually need less.
Maybe. Oh,
I will take tech problems for a decade before I want another Indian in this country. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
No, I tried to call to cancel my internet provider. It was the first time I ever got a white person on the phone was when I was gonna cancel. So they put all the white people for billing so that you have the easiest time, filling out your bills or whatever, or putting in your bank information. But if you ever have a technical problem, it's awful because you don't get people who speak English.
All right, so check out this clip of Candace Owens. She released this just earlier, proving that Charlie Kirk was changing his position. And I will say, like I told Alex, if people want to apologize to Candace, now would be a good time. People like to apologize to any of us, including Max, including myself, Josh Hammer. If any of you guys that lied about Charlie would like to clarify that you lied, or you can take the easy road and just say you were misinformed. There's deeper things in these messages, but check this out.
But Rob in particular knew for an absolute fact that Charlie was done with Israel bullying him. That's what bothers me so much about this man. Him allowing these headlines, Charlie's pastor speaks out, crushes Candace because of what she said, not whatever. I don't like it. He knew, and others knew, that Charlie was done with Israel bullying him, and I am now going to present you proof of what I am saying. This is an actual group chat, which happened 2 days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. There were 9 people in total on this chat, including Charlie and Rob McCoy. I'm going to protect the names of the other 7 for now. To be clear, I might actually release a name every day this week, but I want to show you this because suffice it to say, Rob McCoy was on this text thread, and I think it helps contextualize him as a person, in my view, that he would attack me for telling the truth about the pressure that he was facing. Take a look. So Charlie writes in this group chat, just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Somebody writes, ugh. Charlie writes, Jewish donors play into all of the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. And somebody writes, a donor writes, please do not invite Candace. That might feel good short term, but it's not good long term. In my opinion, like all groups, you're going to get a wide variety of opinions. That nasty free will thing that God bestowed on us makes life frustrating at times after the dust settles a bit, maybe. So again, this is 48 hours before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He was very clear and he was very explicit, and he did not back down, not in that Hamptons meeting, which they're all lying about, nor in this text thread. I'm not going to reveal the names of the other 7. Actually, you know what? I disagree with myself 4 seconds ago. Let's just throw in Josh Hammer for funsies. He's on this chat, okay?
I don't know what's going on. All right. So, So I also posted this. Let's talk about some of this stuff. So she brings this up. She brought the receipts. She brought the receipts. This is where we're going to start this conversation, because we're gonna give you more information. If you didn't watch the Alex interview, we dropped some new names today as well. And I'd really like if Candace and Max would come back to collaborative work here, so we can kind of get our minds together, like we were able to work together in the beginning to expose the Hamptons meeting. And this stuff is so serious. This stuff is so serious that it's gotten to a point now where there is a disinformation campaign where I even had to legally delete a tweet about Josh Hammer today because I was told something very serious. Did you see what Josh Hammer tweeted? The night that he was talking to Charlie Kirk to struggle session him with the rabbi. Do you know that the night before Kirk was murdered, he had to get on the phone with prominent Jews?
I did not.
Who were testing him, which they admitted publicly. They were testing him to see if he was ready to answer questions correctly about Israel and the Jews and the Israeli. I guess you want to say, I don't know what you want to call it, the Israeli Eighth Front War. If he aligned with Netanyahu's vision for the alliance between America and Israel, if he was willing to continually stand for Israel, they struggle sessioned him with a rabbi, allegedly, the night before he was murdered. And they actually told themselves, because right when we said we knew about all this information that Charlie Kirk was changing on Israel, they said, no, he wasn't. We were grilling him on questions the night before. They wrote this to make sure that he had his answers prepared for questions on Israel because we knew it was going to be tough. That's weird. That sounds weird to ensure a loyalty test the night before someone was murdered to the state of Israel. I'm not saying Israel's involved in it. That's just, isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's more than just basic media training, media prep. Like, Charlie doesn't need any of that. You give that to somebody who randomly, blows up online and gets a bunch of followers and stuff and doesn't know how to answer questions. You give them a little bit of media training where it's like, here's how you should speak. Not even here's how you answer these questions word for word, unless, you're dealing with a baby politician, which people do with politicians. But 100%, I didn't know anything about that. I know Rob McCoy because back in California in Thousand Oaks, where I grew up, that was my home church. My family was going to Rob McCoy's Calvary Chapel Church for years before COVID, before anything happened, where everything was shut down in the state of California. So we were there when there was maybe 200 people attending. And then as his church grew, we noticed changes. We noticed like things slowly turning and changing. And before I became Catholic, I went back to his church with my buddy who was living in the area, and he had a whole sermon on Israel. And I was like, this was maybe like last November. And then I became Catholic this Easter.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm gonna tell you this to put into perspective. A good friend of mine, and also somebody who I think probably knows more of what's going on, and probably is in a very tough spot. And I want to give him credit. I don't think that he is guilty of anything besides just being someone's friend. I'll be completely honest. And I think he's a good guy. However, I do think that a lot of these people do know more than they're letting on. Andrew Colvett, obviously, from his own, I think, am I wrong on this, Mendoza? That
to address
that he's the one, I think, who told the FBI, right, in the investigation. That's what Ed was saying.
Yeah.
That he's the one who told them about the pressure from the donors and things as like a possible suspect that people were giving Charlie trouble.
Apparently in this clip he says that.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Okay, watch this.
to address some of the things that have been going around on public, namely about a group text chain that has been made known and released by Candace Owens. And I just want to address it head on because, that was a screen grab that I had shared with people. So it is authentic. And I want to go into it because I actually am really excited that the truth is out there.
So I would say, so he's excited the truth is out there, right? Now what does this mean? Because he knows that people have been lying. This is why it's really important. He knows, and he's in a tough spot because he's having to run Turning Point right now. I know Erica Kirk's supposed to be in charge of it, but he's supposed to be running this, and he's saying, like, I'm glad that the truth is out there. Now, to remind people, I have a long history with Andrew. A long history. Maybe scoping nearly almost a decade. And Andrew's always been very good to me, very kind, very forthright, and he's always been a spokesperson for Charlie. He's always gone out and kind of went out and spoke for Charlie. And, I'm not going to say anything that Andrew told me, but from conversations I had with Andrew previously, I was very aware, and he was aware of what happened. That's why, Andrew, I saw the interview on Alex Clark, and it seemed like he was saying the opposite of this, like that. I don't know.
I saw that clip she posted. Yeah.
It just seemed like, I even said here, I said, I don't know why people are saying something different on podcasts on Turning Point that are going against the things they told me in our private conversations. But now he's saying he wants the truth to be out there. So my question is somebody threatening him? Is he afraid for his own life? Is there some issue going on? Because I know him to be a straight shooter. And I saw our convo seem to contradict his original cover conversation with Alex Clark. And I don't know if you saw this. Weirdly enough, Alex Clark put out a video on her podcast. Alex Clark is a young producer for Turning Point.
Young? Not like Gen Z.
No.
She's like millennial. I think she's older than you.
If I can, possibly.
So
If my computer works, which it doesn't, so that's not going to be great. But she went ahead and she posted a video, and I thought it was very interesting because if I can go down here, it involves the fact that she gives credit to, look at this. Check this out. So she posted this video right here. Check this out on my screen. So this was posted by the Yellow Kazoo. Mm-hmm. Watch this. So what you'll notice is the caption out here says, Candace Owens was right with an Israeli flag. This is on her official TPUSA account. People aren't talking about this one.
Yeah, no.
That Alex Clark, who was the one that they used to break the news about Charlie, that I said they were contradicting themselves based on private conversations, is now posting that Israel, Candace Owens was right. And by the way, with an Israeli flag. Now, is that what does that mean? Right? Listen to this.
It's super cryptic.
Agree with Candace Owens that the reason we are not going to see the client list is because Israel is implicated?
Israel is implicated.
She just put this
to an
out.
extent. I don't think we know. I don't know that there is a client list. The only list that I'm aware of is a list held by attorneys of the 25 men who have settled with women who claim they were trafficked by Epstein. So there have been a series of civil cases about this. Is that the same thing? No, that's not the same thing. Those are people who've settled claims made against them, which are true or not. I don't know. This is a civil case. I don't believe that there's a list, and I think if there was a list, it would have been destroyed around the time Epstein was first arrested. Was Israel involved? Absolutely. I mean, the former Prime Minister of Israel, Ehud Barak, lived at Epstein's townhouse. Absolutely. What does that mean? I mean, the allegation is that Epstein was running a blackmail operation against powerful people where they would be videotaped having sex outside of marriage or illegally with underage women, and that information would be used against them to get them to comply with whatever request that government wanted.
Based? No, okay. But I do bring this up. What an odd timing.
Mm-hmm.
What odd timing to put up this clip about Israel being blackmailing people. It's a clip about Israel. I'm going to read blackmailing people, to which Turning Point's host, who was used to push the narrative out about like this official narrative about Charlie Kirk and the tell-all clarifying the stories, is like, as these are getting released, is saying she's right about Israel blackmailing people. So Turning Point USA is sending out a message that they're saying Israel blackmails people. Interesting. And I know a lot of people that work there. You know, I was speaking to Charlie's YouTube specialist, guy who runs his YouTube channel. He goes by the name Josiah Moody. And and he was telling me the kind of conversations that happened there, the things that Charlie would say. I mean, most of it on air, right? The conversation he had with him about Israel things. And this guy's not pro-Israel. You know, I'm not going to get into his full mode. I know that Charlie had just hired brand new staff to run his content that were supposed to start working that weekend, who he knew were not pro-Israel and Zionists. And he was literally hiring brand new people to control his content, hiring brand new people to work on his stuff that were young, that didn't like Israel. And he was texting people, telling people, we knew all of this when he got killed, all of it. And that's why we said, hey, all we know is this. Charlie was nervous, like anyone would, because people were giving him a lot of money, millions of dollars, tens of millions, perhaps hundreds of millions of dollars, if you look at the scheme of things. And he wasn't playing ball. And it wasn't about trans issues. It was about he was getting off the Israel plantation.
Yeah, it's tough because this is all the first that I'm hearing of, him hiring new staff or him having new people, because I knew previously Turning Point had a very, not lackluster, but their hiring processes wasn't as refined as it could have been. And so I knew there were people internally at Turning Point who were very pro-abortion, pro-immigration. And I'm like, how are you working at a conservative organization if that's the case? And obviously we know that that's the case for a certain country, but not for America. So to hear that, okay, well, he was hiring all these people who were not necessarily Zionists, not necessarily pro-war, all that Israel stuff. And all of a sudden, the group chat gets leaked. And then you go, well, why was Andrew okay with saying that the messages were verified now, as opposed to he could have been the one to release them? They were his screenshots. He could have been the one to say, by the way, guys, this is what was happening. I think it's the Overton window. It's slowly shifting. And so, yeah, there's a genuine, you've said it on your ex on this show, like there's a genuine fear for your life when you're dealing with people who are evil enough to want to take your life. And so I would give Andrew, unfortunately, a little bit of
flack,
a little bit of flack, but also a little bit of understanding in the sense that, yeah, he wants to, frankly, everyone's going to have a price. If your price is not like going to the wall, like Christ is king, I'm just going to go out like that, then your price is not enough, essentially. And unfortunately, I don't think people have the price of Christ is king, and I'll take that to my grave.
Yeah, no, I just wish people would just admit they're wrong. And I want to talk about Josh Hammer.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Josh Hammer.
Okay, do tell, because I don't know as much about him.
Yeah,
I want more details.
Yeah,
Rob
so
in particular.
So let me go to this. So I had put up a tweet about Josh Hammer that he tweeted the night of the murder, and I had to take it down because I was like, basically one of his people were like, hey, he was really clear publicly that he put up this tweet. It was about Irina Zarutska. And that's what this was about. I just took them for their word. I'm dumb. But don't ever believe a Zionist. Don't believe them. Lying is their forte. Mark Levin's name, when you look up the word liar in the dictionary, it's just a picture of Mark Levin's goblin face.
Calling people who comment on his posts genetically antiseptic. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's like, it's in your DNA.
It's in your. Yeah. He's like Mark Levin. Oh, Mark Levin. It's like, dude, every stereotype in one person.
Yep.
I cannot believe I used to work for him. That's insane.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
What have I signed up for here, guys? What the heck?
Yes. According to somebody, I won't say who, but let's just say this. Mark Levin and Dave Rubin are two people who work very hard to get everyone fired in this industry if they're not completely proseptic. They're not philoseptic. They're very, very, very smarmy people. We'll just say that.
Well, Dave did adopt a boy.
They do. They like to go in the mines, but they don't like to do the work. They just like to take the coins. So there was Josh Hammer, who I don't know why Alex Jones kept acting like he didn't know who Josh Hammer was. Very weird. I love you, Alex. What the hell was all that? Essentially, there was a series of tweets that Josh Hammer put out the night before he was murdered. And where is this? When was this posted? October 7th. Man, I can't get shit to load on my computer, man. This is fucking annoying. I'm being completely serious. It's like irritating. It's like just super irritating. I don't know what the fuck we have all this stuff. Is it this show without technical difficulties? It's like I'm loading porn in 1999. It's like the nipple is coming in pixels. You know what I mean?
I wasn't alive then, so I don't know what you mean.
Okay. Well, it used to just like load. It's like it's infuriating. All right. But on September 9th of 2025, the day before Charlie Kirk was murdered, and the day that those same people that Josh Hammer is a part of also ruined my life and took away one of my primary sources of income for not supporting them. But they don't control the world, but they can ruin your life overnight if they ask people to ruin your life. However, he retweeted a tweet from Donald J. Trump that said should be public execution for all to see. You will end this bullshit fast. So the guy that was on the phone with Charlie the night before he was murdered, perhaps while he was on the phone with him, we don't know the exact time, was tweeting about ending this bullshit by publicly executing people. Odd, right?
That's very odd.
And said it was based. Now, the reason why I deleted this when I had posted it earlier, yesterday or the day before or whatever, was because these people were like, hey, yeah, he was talking about Irina Zarutska. But Candace got attacked by Yashir Ali. I love how I have him blocked. Like, you always know these are shitty journalists. Like, it's like I already have him blocked. But he said this. He says, last night, Candace Owens quote tweeted notorious neo-Nazi. I don't think Sam Parker's notorious now. Is that? I didn't even know that. Yeah?
Sam Parker? He's
notorious?
I don't know about notorious.
He's
but
like known.
yeah.
Like, I would say like Fuentes is notorious, right? Like,
Yeah.
he's like
Fuentes,
famous.
Tate Brothers, Myron, they're all
Correct.
notorious.
Correct.
Yeah, everyone knows them. Everyone like,
Sneeko or something.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Notorious.
Notorious neo-Nazi Sam Parker, who pointed out that Josh Hammer, who is Jewish. Oh, what the heck? I didn't know that.
Wait, he is?
No way.
He didn't.
The guy that was lying?
He didn't put parentheses next to his name. I had no idea.
Oh my gosh. Josh Hammer, who said that the American civilization depends, our existence depends on Israel existing, which sounded like a threat to me at CPAC.
Oh, that's
Kinda like a
so
threat.
interesting. That is a little bit threatening-ish. Like if my house doesn't exist, then yours
your
will
home.
burn up in the fire
Correct.
as well.
But they're
is
on the
a
other side of the
weird-
world, so how is that possible?
It's a very odd statement.
These people are very odd people,
No,
Braeden.
that's weird.
He's a notorious neo-Nazi who pointed out that Josh Hammer, who is Jewish and was a friend of Charlie Kirk's, elevated a Trump tweet from 2013, the day before, which called for public executions, saying, Candace, of course, would like people to believe that Josh's quote tweet is suspicious in the context of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. But Josh was just sharing that many conservatives were sharing and stating the day that's because they were both talking about the horrific murder of Irina Zarutska. This is where I say no civilized nation uses the death penalty. Okay. Well, Candace brought this up. There's not a single shred of proof that you can produce that Josh Hammer was referring to Irina, not one, not even his own public statements about Irina's murder, There was no new information about her murder that day, so it wasn't even trending. Okay. And it says, the text you revealed was actually valuable hard evidence, but you destroy your credibility when you post disingenuous garbage like this or talk about your dreams. Stick to the facts. Got Vince Dow, also kind of one of the Fuentes heads right now.
Is he really?
He's been like sort of like
Okay.
agreeing with him on pretty much most of the things.
Interesting.
I think. I don't know. Is
I
he
saw
not?
him around. I don't know. I've seen him around like years ago, but I haven't seen him online recently, so that's why I don't know. I don't follow
Or
him.
they're like a J. I mean, these are like the same kind of people. It's like Gen Z kids.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. He's Gen Z. I haven't seen him recently, so I didn't know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just see him like piggybacking on the stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was my assumption. There's far less proof you can provide that he was referencing an organized hit on Charlie Kirk. Look, I don't care about this tweet. My point is, what I think that the main point about this that we should be focusing on, it is weird that he wrote that. It is weird that there's no evidence. But I think the weirdest part isn't that. The weirdest part is that Josh Hammer, amongst many other things, had said this on the 29th of, amongst many other tweets, by the way, had said, I was given access to this letter a few months ahead of time. As I've been saying repeatedly, Tucker, Candace, and other bad faith actors are lying through their teeth about Charlie and Israel. So what he's saying here is that he was talking. He said, I talked to him. I've been with him. I was there the night before. And he's been saying this whole time that Charlie was not saying exactly what was said in the text thread that was confirmed by Andrew Colvett. So why was there a disinformation campaign out? If Israel's not linked, if the donors are not linked and the Israel question has nothing to do with his murder, why was the Israel lobby, Josh Hammer is allegedly an Israeli lobby asset, which I would say, if he's not getting paid by Israel, I've always said this on the show, he's really doing himself a disservice. He needs to go pick up a check because like, you know,
For approximately $7,000.
he's carrying more weight for Israel than Medea carries on her body. You know, that's just like, we're doing Medea references. It's true.
Yeah. Wait,
Tyler Perry.
so he said all of this, and he discredited it. He called it disinformation. He went after, you know, everybody like Candace. He targeted anybody who dare question the narrative. After Candace releases the screenshots, and then Andrew comes on and goes, by the way, guys, the screenshots are real. And so what? Now he just has to run damage control and try to, because how do you go back from somebody who literally took the screenshots, who was in the group chat saying, yeah, this is what my friend and mentor Charlie said before he died. So I'm confused. He's running this disinformation campaign. Obviously, you know, anyone can attack Candace, anyone can attack Tucker or Nick or whatever. They can go after and say those things. But when the people who were also in the screenshots come out and authenticate it, what do you do there? I don't like, that's just stupid.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is stupid. And I think what's funny is that, you know, they went from saying that we were lying, that we were dumb, and then saying that, you know, this is stupid, that he wasn't changing his position. And I'm saying I have seen people's conversations. I have spoken to them, the people that are around him. And I'm still trying to go talk to Andrew. I wouldn't release what he said. I'd like to go. I was texting him today at Colvett, and I would like to just meet with him privately, I said, and I'm not planning on releasing any of that conversation at all in any way. But I just said, hey, we need to talk because we just need to talk. And I mean, he wrote me back, so we'll see what happens. I was like, we need to talk because I just need clarity because you guys are pushing this narrative, the FBI narrative. This isn't about like clicks and views. Like, if it's true, then I just need to know. I need you to show me the evidence of how you know it's true. But if it's not true and you don't know and you're really thinking and I want to know what you're really thinking, off record, whatever. And that goes with anybody. They don't owe me anything. I'm not very famous. It's not like they owe, I just know these people for years. That's all it is. I'm not like, I'm famous. You owe me an answer. I'm just like,
You're asking
I'm
for
like,
truth from acquaintances.
yeah, I'm just like, hey, I've known you. I don't think you have any reason to lie to me. Can you please tell me what the hell's going on? Are you putting on a face? Are you acting like things are okay because of some reason? Because I want to know what that is. And I won't repeat it. I won't come in here and hint at it. I'll just be like, okay, hey, if your life is threatened, if you're afraid for his family, if there's something that I don't know, then I'd like to just know, and we'll just keep it low. And I can just tell people, hey, you know what? The situation's complicated. And if I don't get those answers, then I'm going to keep digging. We're all going to keep digging. And more will be released. People will release more. You'll see over the years, people will start coming out. People will start talking. But just like Epstein, I don't know when that will come out. I don't know what people will choose, but I do believe with the extra evidence that Candace has that she will release more stuff that she has.
Well, because it gives way to speculation.
I hope she does. Yeah, I hope she does. Because what it sounded like to me, and I might have this wrong, Andrew, so sorry. Sorry if you're seeing this. This is not an attack on you at all, Andrew, by the way. I actually, like I mentioned earlier in the show, I do respect you a lot. And I'm just nervous for you. And we're nervous for everyone. One of the main things that we have to talk about in the midst of all this is why are people acting like we're bad people for investigating the murder of Charlie Kirk? Like, I'm literally getting COVID parallels. If you're like, you're not a scientist, do you have a degree? Remember, you'd be like, I don't know if I should take an experimental injection because it hasn't been lab tested. They go, oh, what are you, an immunologist? And you're like, no, I have common sense. And I'm just wondering, I would just like to see the tests and long-term side effects of something before I put it into my body. And it's like, oh, science denier, hey? You're a science denier. Oh, why don't you just tell my grandma, call her, tell her you want her to die. Tell her you want her to die. And you're like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? That's what I'm getting from this. It's like, hey, I don't know if this calling him Superman and magic bones is a really plausible explanation, for a 30-06 not piercing a man's neck. And it's like, oh, so you think there's a trap door and his guard shot him with a pocket handgun? What? Alex was even doing that today. He's like, well, the people that basically had your position were like saying that there was like, that there was like secret guns and stuff. I was like, when have I never said anything like that? What the hell are we talking about? And it's the same thing that happens right now in the anti-Semitism conversation too. We know what they're doing. They're blatant about it. And then you go like, hey, I think that bombing innocent children overseas is wrong and we should stop funding it. And then Ted Cruz would be like, these Jew haters, they want you all dead like Satan. And you're like, I never said to kill any Jews. I never said anything about killing anyone. I spoke out against murder. I spoke out against murder. It's like, yeah, these anti-Semites, they want to erase you off the face of the earth. Like, I never said that. Now, you guys said that about Gaza when it first happened to turn into a parking lot, whatever. I go, but like, relax. Like, and then they misconstrue what you're saying because they're in a guilty position. And so they don't want you to they want to make you look insane. And I feel like with the Charlie murder that I'm getting the same treatment from the right. Trust the FBI, and if you go against the FBI, you're a conspiracy theorist, and you're one of the trapdoor camera gun guys. And you're like, I just want to know how a man took apart a gun faster than the fastest person who can take apart that gun. I want to know why the guy who killed Osama bin Laden, one of the greatest marksmen in our country, says that was an exit wound. He says that was an exit wound. One of the greatest trained marksmen who uses rifles said that's not an entry wound of a 30-06. That's just not it. I can tell you, I've blown people's heads off, a lot of them, and that's not it. And you're going, okay, well, maybe I'm trying to look at what the experts say. Maybe I'd like to see what the experts say, because currently Kash Patel has done nothing that he said he was going to do. So why would I believe him? He's a lying sack of shit, and that's just true. Maybe he's a good guy. They threatened him, but it's just like, yeah. I mean, there's an Antifa roundtable today we'll talk about. I literally probably took the most physical damage of any reporter during that entire era exposing Antifa. I'm definitely in the top 2 or top 3 journalists during the world that year, getting over 100 million views just on one event, 100 million impressions on one event.
Crazy.
Having Trump legitimately say the next day, thanks to the work of Elijah Schaffer, we were actually able to expose and see the working of Antifa and BLM. You go look at the clip. He called me out by name the next day when the violence started, that if I wasn't there, we wouldn't have known. The left would have hidden it. I don't get invited to the Stop Antifa Roundtable despite living in Chaz and embedding for 30 days in living in tent cities and sieging and getting my leg broken by DHS. I don't get invited because I was told by an individual who is also Jewish, by the way, like many of those were invited, many of those that were invited to the Epstein binder thing, that they saw the audit standards for influencers or journalists for these showcases, and they audit their social media to see if there's any criticisms of Israel, and if you have anything antagonistic, you don't get invited. So you want to stop Antifa, but you can't. But if you criticize Israel, then we can't use you to stop Antifa, because it's more important that you're loyal to Israel. That's why I say we're occupied. Mm-hmm. And that's true. This is a verifiably true statement, guys. This is a very, very true statement. That's why you look, who's all the people that are there at the Antifa roundtable? Some very great people. I'm not.
There are some good, like Nick Sorter. I like him.
Great.
He's an awesome guy.
Cam Higby's but this is not to be rude to Cam, but it's like Cam's the one out there like trying to expose Antifa. They've already been exposed, and like going to these small gatherings. Like, actually, I know so much about Antifa. We don't go to those anymore because you just get jumped, and it doesn't prove anything new. It's like, dude, you know Antifa was like
They're violent.
They're violent. They're throwing bottles. It's like me. Like, I don't need to go into South Central and wear like a red shirt to prove that the Crips are going to kill me. Like, it's like we know that there's gang violence. It doesn't really help to do that, you know? And I love Cam, and his work at the LA riots was phenomenal. So I, by no means, but like, I do think it's kind of stupid. These journalists that are like Katie Davis Court. I don't know, because for the post-millennial, she's fantastic, but she keeps going to these Antifa things in front of ICE, and she got the shit beat out of her. Do you see that?
No, I didn't see that. The most recent one I saw was Nick Sorter's, where he ended up going with some other radio host. And I kind of agree with you. It's like, we know what they're going to do. So, I mean, I guess it's great footage if you're going to go be, you want to get a bunch of clicks on X. Like, that makes sense. But you're not necessarily getting anything new.
No, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, look at this. See, like, you see this, it's like an anti-ICE thing. And you have like, you're just like standing on the road. And this is not even like any type of slant, because she's a really incredible journalist. So I actually am kind of like, feel bad saying this.
Yeah, like, be careful.
But it's like, but to be fair, she's a Seattle journalist. So it's like, if you already live there and you're covering this, then she's fine.
Yeah.
But then she got the shit beat out of her. And I'm like, hey, that, like, we already know that. So with a lot of this stuff, I'm going to get back to where some of the Israel thing. It's like exposing, dude, an Antifa roundtable in 2025 without the biggest people. Andy No is there, but to be fair, Andy No lives in the United Kingdom. Like, he's or somewhere. He's somewhere in Europe.
Yeah.
So it's like, he's not even here. And I love Andy, by the way. I love him to death, and he is incredible. And he got very hurt. He got very hurt one time. He was very, very damaged. They hurt him, and the second time they hurt him too. They chased him into a hotel. I remember that. So Andy's fine. But like, in terms of other than Andy, people that were like around the height and like it really, by the way, exposed. This is what I mean. Someone's like, "Oh, you sound jealous." I go, no. What I'm saying is, I'm actually talking about this to expose how occupied our government is. I'm saying that those of us that put our lives on the line to prove Antifa was real when it was being said it was an idea. When Jerry Nadler and Nancy Pelosi were saying it was an idea, it's not real. And everyone in the country was like, it's not even real. It's just an idea. It's anti-fascism. We went out, put our lives on the line, and literally, I still, to this day, I have no fucking nerves in the left side of my face. I had to go through surgeries to reconstruct because I got rotted nerve damage. It's horrible. Basically like rotted gangrene in my face from like detached nerves, and then like my neck fell off. It was crazy. I had to get reconstructive surgery because what they did, it was necrotic. It wasn't that they damaged me so bad. I just ended up getting necrotic flesh, and that was actually, don't kill nerves if it's bad. Yeah. But still, it's like guns pointed, leg broken. I've got multiple concussions, cracked in the head. And it's like, they don't want me there because they don't care about, that's why they don't care about Antifa. They care about loyalty to Israel. If you see everyone there, no one's critical of Israel. And that's where we're at in our country. So to me, this Israel control issue is the biggest issue going on in our country. And I do believe they'll kill people over it. And I'm willing to put my reputation on this. I'll just say that like they've proven that they'll kill 60,000, 70, 80,000 innocent people. They don't care. These people have proven to be violent, tortious, they blackmail, amongst many other things. And you're finding out directly, I don't know what happened randomly, starting like feedback in these mics.
Yeah, I have that too.
Yeah, what happened there? Did the cord move or something like that?
I haven't moved any cords myself.
Okay. Let me see if
we'll take
1 second. Yeah, we gotta fix it. So go.
I'll go. I'll talk. I had something to say.
Ahead.
I mean, we were talking about this idea of things like Kash Patel. He got honeypotted, so he was just useless from the get-go. Kash Patel was such a disappointment. Same with Dan Bongino. It really was unfortunate. But they both went in. You had great expectations. There's still feedback. I'll let you know when it stops. They had great expectations. People had high hopes. They're like, well, maybe things will get fixed. Maybe something will happen. I wonder if it was my cord that pulled. And then you have this stupid, there goes my computer. Yeah, no, it's gone. We're good. We're good. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, the annoying part is when questions are stopped, it leads to suspicion. And so nobody is going to accept the narrative. Nobody's going to trust what's happening or being fed to them anymore. Just like you said with COVID. It was like the comparison we had recently where, oh, well, if you're against child sex brothels, you know who else was against those? Hitler. Are you saying you like Hitler? And it's like, what an odd thing to say. What a weird
What
random
if I do?
coincidence. Like, but that you're not allowed to say that, right? Like, wow, how dare you? How dare you compare? It's either you like Hitler or he is the worst person to ever exist in the history of the world. Those are your two options. And you better pick the second one. And of course, we disavow any hatred of groups of people. But I'm serious. There is no questioning any sort of narrative. And so when you want to question Charlie Kirk, it's like, wow, like you said, the guy who took out Osama bin Laden, he knows what a 30-06 does to a body, let alone a neck. And when he goes, that's an exit wound, and it's not a 30-06. And I like the chat ever. And everyone's going, well, you don't really know what you're talking about. Trust the other experts, the ones in the FBI, the ones who lied about everything else for the past 60 years. Why are we supposed to just randomly, blindly start trusting them now? Is it just because Trump's president? Oh, Trump got into office and he brought in Patel and Bongino, and all of a sudden, all of our problems are fixed. We don't have anything to worry about anymore. Just trust what you're being told. Like, that's just stupid.
No, it is. And look, this is what I'm going to say. It's like they were telling us all that Charlie wasn't changing his mind, that we were completely wrong. And then you get people now, Brandon Tatum, it's like the clown meme, right? Where the guy keeps getting more clown makeup. Now here's what they're saying. Now that we've proven that Charlie was changing his mind on Israel, Brandon Tatum says, unfortunately, Charlie cannot defend what he said on a private message. He clearly did not intend. Classic electrical engineer right here.
But like,
yeah, but look, public before he was assassinated. Like, why is there a capital? Like, that's like, why are we capitalizing assassinated? And then it's like, dude, I'm sorry. I like what what's his name? What Mark Dice said about Brandon. He's like, I used to like Brandon because I was like, we need more black guys in the conservative world. And then now I'm like, did we?
Did we really?
He was like, did we need these people?
No.
I reached out to Brandon's team to have him on the show, by the way. I never criticized anyone that I wouldn't talk to face to face.
That's valid.
They said that he might be willing to discuss. I have a question though. Hey, did he intend to come on here? Was that his intent? Did he intended?
I think he intended.
Did he intentulate?
I intend often.
Intentulating?
No.
Sometimes I intentulate in my bed at night to help me fall asleep. You ever intentulate before you go to sleep?
I intend to go to sleep at a reasonable hour tonight, yeah.
We're having a sleepover.
We are. It's a big party.
Woo. Yeah, what? We got Aldo Battazzoni, Earl Grey, you and myself. And the crazy part is we have a 1-bedroom studio apartment.
We're all going to cuddle.
We're all in the same bed. No. It's like a 4 or 5 bedroom. I don't even know how many bedrooms it is. Actually, I've never counted. But there's enough for all of us. That being said, it is... Look at this. I wrote this on the 6th. I go, but there are a ton of things that we've seen and know that probably will be published. Can't risk legal issues personally. The truth is evident that there are lots of people I know in his inner circle feel afraid to speak out or feel squashed. They'll speak soon. Yeah, so I've kind of kept the same narrative. And then more stuff keeps coming out and stuff like that. More people keep speaking. We name dropped somebody else today who wants to be vocal. Some people don't want to be brought out. Does this sound like innocence? Does this sound like a clear-cut situation?
No, this sounds like fear. It
sounds like people are being blackmailed. It sounds like there's this is not, guys.
This isn't how normal people act.
No.
Put it that way.
No, it's not at all.
Nobody does this. I'm not like going home to my family, we're going to have dinner together and we're all sitting around the table talking. And it's like, well, what'd you do today? Well, why does that matter? And then a leaked text of what my mom did today as she went to the store and she's like, no, I didn't. And then my dad comes in, he's like, well, actually she intended to maybe go to a different store, but that's not really any of your business. It's like, you're supposed to trust me. We're supposed to be working together here to fight, the bad guy. Like, what?
No, this is so insane. I want to bring this up because I was on Alex today and I want to play a clip from there. First of all, I was going to say on a side note, unironically, this has been some pretty gay stuff said on this show and my other show. So this is crazy to say this is one of the gayest things. But I actually had been a little more closed off about my life since I had women try to destroy my life. I'll just put it like that. And I called out Alex today, and I think I pissed him off. And some of his team told me, said, "I'm glad you said what you said," because I told him, I said, first of all, I went in swinging, and I went to the interview, and I was like, Alex, he's like, did this long, took like 10 minutes to come in and like basically prepare to be roasted, because he and Ezra, like last week, were like basically mocking me, like that I was insane. And basically I said, there are things that we know, you'll find out, I can't say yet, that'll prove that he was changing his mind, and that, you know, just so you know, with these people, I didn't say they killed him. I said, they're willing to do anything, even kill people. I just was like putting the two out there, not related. No one's saying Israel killed anyone.
No,
except for, because he's not a Palestinian child. That would be a terrible tweet. Like, no one can confirm that Israel killed Charlie Kirk because he wasn't a 2-year-old brown child. You know what I mean? That's like the only people they like to kill. And yeah, they kill brown children in my hopes and dreams.
Oh man,
my bank account.
The bank account's a big one.
So stressful. That's so stressful. You have no idea what kind of stress I'm under right now financially with that shit. But I'm earning it back. I'm getting it back. I'm working on it. It was bad. It was bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna admit. I'm gonna admit they won that battle. Like they got me. Because I got yeah. And then they tried to use some other excuse, but then it didn't work. And then I finally got the real reason. I'm like, okay, yeah, thank you. I'm glad to know exactly what happened. The gayest thing I'm saying on the show here is that, you know, I called him out and I said, hey, you're just living in fear. You're not the same Alex you used to be since you got sued for Sandy Hook. I told him to his face.
Yeah.
I was like, and you have PTSD and you need to like stop and you come back. We need the guy back that was fearless. And then he first said no, and he admitted he had PTSD from it and that he has been like this. And no one said it to him yet. And I love him. He's like, I used to call him dad as a joke publicly, and everyone thought he was my dad for like a couple years. It was like very funny. Like, isn't he your dad? I'm like, no, he's my uncle. We don't even look like we should take a lot of pictures together. I lived in Texas. He was in Texas. So we just spent a lot of time together. And man, me and Alex used to get so drunk together. It was so fun. And the thing is about that is I had to tell him, because I was talking to one of his producers, and I said, like, yeah, thanks for like, you know, just being honest with him. Like he needs friends that are honest. And it wasn't meant to be disrespectful, but I was telling Alex that he's like PTSD, and I mean that out of respect. I even precluded it with like, Alex, I mean this with the utmost respect, because I love you and I care about you, but what the hell happened to you? Yeah. You know what I mean? What happened?
No, he changed significantly.
Yes.
I remember seeing clips of him years ago going crazy, and that's what everyone like. That's what they said. He's like, oh, he's a crazy guy. The frogs are turning gay because of the water, you know, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I didn't even think about that. He has changed since Sandy Hook, and I get it. Like, if something that traumatic happened to you, like, I mean, you said it happened to you, and it's like there's things that you just you inevitably change just out of fear of like, I don't want to go through that again.
Because what I was saying is like, I told myself, I said the reason, and I go, and you fell for it. You let a prominent hat wearer onto your show that hates me, that's been psyoping me. He was getting mad. So I was like, Ezra tried to, he was willing to sacrifice. There was the voice vote that was going to change the constitution of Australia, because before the Australian Jewish Coalition was going to lobby for the hate speech laws they have now to control everybody and have the e-safety commissioner that works for the CIA and all that stuff. They tried this thing called the Voice, which was going to change the constitution basically to like give the power to the Aboriginals, give it back to the people. And it was, guess who proposed the bill? The Zionist lobby. Literally, it's not even a joke. They had like Zionism signs and Israel flags to change the constitution to take the power away from the white people.
Naturally.
And I was the most prominent right-wing journalist while there. I have the biggest following. It's crazy, in the whole country, of any right-wing journalist in the entire country while I was living there. The biggest account. That's how small it is. There's less people, I think, in Australia than there are in Florida. The whole country.
Yeah.
And Avi is like the only other guy, Avi Yemeni, and he works for Rebel. And they would not work with me to try to help save the constitution of the country because I didn't support Israel's war in Gaza. I'm not joking. And he told me that. He wouldn't even shake my hand. They wouldn't work with me. And then they blocked me on all of their accounts so I couldn't work with them. They blacklisted me. They tried to, they slandered me to Sky News and to different people. And this is what the right-wing, you know, freedom rebel news people did to me. And like, I even had people that work for Rebel reach out to me like, dude, like they don't even want me to be your friend, you know? And so, yeah, you better bet when a fucking Ezra Levant fired one of our employees for being a Christian, literally, you better believe that we picked them up and that they work here now. because I'm not gonna let that guy persecute any more Christians. And he goes on to Alex Jones, and he starts trying to say that I'm schizophrenic, basically, and I'm Adolf Hitler, and all these terrible things because I said that these people are psychopaths and they'll kill people. And I'm telling Alex, I'm like, Alex, you think you just had like some guest on your show that is trying to just like, make right for Charlie? What you really have is you have a Zionist puppet that is coming in to try to undermine my reputation because I'm correct. And he's getting you as an authority figure to side with him so that he can push the Zionist agenda that everyone who questions is crazy. And you're falling for a honeypot, for a Zionist honeypot. And this is very serious stuff. And I'm like, I didn't take that kindly.
Yeah.
That's why I text Alex. And I text his team. I was like, hey, honestly, sincerely, fuck you if you don't put me on your show because you can't do this. I will go to war. I will go to war. And will trust me. I know things about everybody. We're not gonna like this. If this is not gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's mutually assured destruction.
Correct. But hey, we're not gonna let these schmarmy people that have secondary political intentions undermine the truth of our friend Charlie, who was murdered. Okay, he's all of our friend, even if you didn't know him.
Yep.
Everybody knew him, even if you didn't know him. So no. So I went on there, and then I did another hour and a half today, and I went in and said, would you like to apologize? Because just a couple days earlier, you were saying, like, what do we know? There's no proof that he was changing his mind on Israel. We don't know anything about that. He's telling me all this. The next day, the text dropped. I'm like, would you like to apologize? When I said, there's things you don't know that will come out that are going to prove that what I'm saying is true. And then everyone's like, oh, you're crazy, or this and that. Do you realize you fell for an Israeli op through Ezra Levant, who threatens to sue everybody, even my employees? He's one of the people threatening to sue one of my employees. Crazy, crazy litigious guy. Him and Seth Dillon are like very litigious people, allegedly.
Seth too.
Well,
Allegedly. I didn't know that.
yes. Yeah.
See, I'm not surprised with Ezra, but I was unaware. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised with Seth, but I was just unaware of that. These people hate you. Like when I say you, I mean, obviously anyone who exemplifies actual Christian morals and ethics and teachings, which is what all of the church fathers quoted, that we as Christians or Catholics are the new Israel. We are the fulfillment, the promise, the covenant made through Abraham, through the lineage, through Jacob turned Israel, where the name Israel comes from, through David, through Jesus, and then through the church. So yeah, they hate everybody who stands against that. I mean, what was the verse you read on the show on Monday? It was 1 John 2:22. Anyone who is he who has the spirit of the Antichrist? It is the person who denies that Christ is the Messiah, the Son of God. And so it's like, yes, anybody. I was just reading a chapter of Acts and then Ephesians, the first two chapters of Ephesians on my drive down here. And in Acts, St. Paul is, imprisoned again, as everybody knows. And he's sent to Agrippa, who is the guard, the centurion, the Roman soldier at the time. Because in the old times, if you were a Roman citizen and you were arrested, you usually stayed with a centurion or like a legion of soldiers who would then take you to your trial depending on your status. So you weren't like in prison, but you were under house arrest. And so during that time, he's preaching to him. And he literally says, St. Paul goes, those who do not have Christ as their savior are children of Satan. So anybody who openly rejects Christ as their savior is a child of Satan. And so obviously that still applies to the world today. And so yes, people who are like, that is why Catholicism and Christianity as a whole is under attack, because it's the fulfillment of the promise. And so anybody who speaks of that willingly and openly, I mean, you're wearing a cross now. You're talking about having this transformation where you're like really coming closer to the Lord. Yeah. That's a fantastic thing. And I've been praying for you, and I really hope you really fully get there. I never was attacked more spiritually and even online than I have been as a Catholic. And obviously my social media has been growing and all of that's been fantastic at the same time. The Lord's been grateful. I've been grateful to the Lord for it. But it really proves that there is truth. The more that I was willing to not even compromise on my morals, but refuse to speak out against things. Like when I first started my TikTok, I was just telling jokes. I was still political-ish, but I wasn't like going out and having these quote-unquote based takes that everybody is starting to have now. I mean, that's really taken place in the last 2 years, 3 years, maybe 4 since COVID. And so
no, the base takes were about 6 months after October 7th, 2023. Like I think a lot of people saw us getting dragged.
Yes, but I'm saying
It was-
4 years ago, I was saying a lot of the
Yeah.
things. My mom even came to me. She's like, Braeden, I'm kind of worried. Like, you shouldn't be saying this stuff out loud. And I was like, give it time. The Overton window's going to shift. And obviously, we've seen it shift, especially because of a year ago yesterday.
The fact that you chose to work here shows that it's
Woohoo!
yeah. I'm surprised your parents let you. Someone said, I say you. How old this boy? Someone said that in the comments. How old this boy?
24.
Yeah. Someone did write 24 in there. Well, real fast, just to bring, you will be tested, like someone said in the chat, in serious ways. But I'm telling you, these people is that one of these people that I just mentioned, but we won't say which one. But they're connected to the Babylon Bee. No, but one of these people, I'm just gonna start naming people. We need to as well. Candace is right.
Yes.
It's like, they to what? Let's just say this. I'm gonna say alleged in front of everything so that we could just protect ourselves legally. This person that you don't know is litigious. Threatened one of our employees. Threatened one of us with extreme legal, complicated lawfare over the investigation of the Hamptons meeting and our investigation to these things, which they were allegedly present.
So in other words, if you question it, they're going to drain your bank account.
And was told to tell me to watch out, telling my employee, like a veiled threat through another employee, a legal threat, I should say, of we have an entire team now monitoring me and this show and my account, and they're tracking every word I say, and I better be careful because they're going to be watching my every move. And everything I say and every word, this is in writing, guys. This is in writing. I can take this to court. And I might release it. I might release it and call them out.
I wouldn't be opposed.
I might release it to start showing people that I'm not joking. By the way, I've said nothing to even slightly implicate, and I'm not even implicating anyone on anything. I haven't said Ezra Levant is connected to Charlie Kirk's murder or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't said Seth Dillon is connected to the murder or anything. I wouldn't do that because I don't think they are. And I think that people that would say that would be disingenuous. However, I don't think any of these people are. I don't think any of these people at the Hamptons meeting really had anything to do with any of this. Now, the donors, I don't know. That's another question, right? The donors that he stood up to. I was just talking to somebody who was there last night. I was just talking to somebody last night who was there. It was just or 2 nights ago, actually, and was I forget what day it is. It was just kind of I can't believe that, he stood up to these donors. He just really stood up to them, and this is time and time again. Now, we were all told we were lying. We were all told these people other people who were at the place have made videos about how I'm a liar, how Max Blumenthal's a liar. It's just the Hasbro propaganda doesn't work. I'm look, I have people I trust that were there who are telling me that this stuff happened. I'm going to go ahead and believe them, considering the fact that they're also Catholic and they're very honest people and they have a very good reputation. And they're not sensational. It's not even very public-facing people that, create clicks. They're just hey. They told me this out of the goodness of their heart originally, hey, look what happened with Charlie. Look what happened here. And so, you're pro-Israel people who then took a trip to Israel. You took a trip to Israel after the Hamptons meeting, and then you're putting videos out coordinated about how I'm lying, Candace is lying, Max is lying. And you're lying about what? Because at this point, I've said nothing. I'm not saying anything. You don't need to legally threaten me. You don't need to go to my employees and tell us to all watch our backs. And you're going to put together a team of world-class lawyers and litigators to basically bankrupt me and this company. Good job. You want the $9 in our bank account? Do you really want that? Because you can have $9. Okay, that's $9 more than we have in our bank account. We're a startup. So it's do you want the $9? And the question is so these people... And they can say, well, that wasn't a legal threat. That was just a warning. I don't care what the fuck you call it.
Yeah.
Okay? When you go to my employees, especially a female who's vulnerable, especially a female, and you go and you do this legal shit, and you go tell them, well, we're just simply asking questions. I have never in my life ever even thought in my brain that Seth Dillon has committed any crimes in his life, okay? I never even thought that. I've never even thought about connecting him to any crimes, okay? So why the legal intimidation when I'm not even saying that? I am not saying anything about you doing anything wrong, and I have never planned on it. We were just talking about a meeting called the Hamptons meeting that we're calling it in the Hamptons, that the Bill Ackman was there and others were there, like Xavier Anderson, people have shown it, and we were just saying, allegedly someone said you were there. So what's the threat? Like, I'm not implicating you on anything. In fact, I just like to say this. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone even secretly implicate anyone that was there with any criminal activity. Okay. So I just don't like the people's behavior. Okay. I don't like legal threats over when people are just assuming that people are completely innocent and there's no foul play. Why do we need any legal threats over the Hamptons meeting investigation? Why do we need legal threats? Why do we need to be threatened legally? And why does it need to go through my employees so it's back channeled? So it's like hey, you tell that person basically, me, to watch their back. It's like, hey, whoa, hey, who the fuck are you? I'm being serious. I got the call about it. It's like, hey, you're being legally threatened. What do I do about this? Like, hey, it's like, yeah, show me what was said. I want to see this. And I look and I'm like, hey, that's not fucking cool. Considering the fact that you have my phone number. You could call me or you can give your lawyers, what are your lawyers going to do to me? I didn't say anything. I'm not implicating you. What, I'm going to cease and desist from saying that you're not a criminal? What are you going to cease and desist me from saying you're innocent of any crimes? Are you going to cease and desist me from saying that you're not connected to Charlie's murder in any way? What are you going to cease and desist me to? You're just mad that I mentioned your name publicly? You're a public figure and I can mention your name. You're mad that I said that somebody said that you were there? Well, I can say that because somebody did say that. I didn't even say that it's true. And then I don't know if you confirm that or not, but I'm just saying people say things. And it's like, if that's completely innocent, then why are people acting weird? And that's what I can't understand. I'm not even insinuating anything by this conversation. I'm asking, why is, like you said, why is it that every rock I uncover, every person that I've spoken to, every person that Max speaks to or anybody, they all act weird. Even this text thing, like I mentioned, it's just weird. It's like people come out like, yeah, like to me it sounded like Andrew might have leaked it to Candace. I don't know, or something like that. Because it's like, oh, these were my screenshots and Candace got a hold of them. I don't know. Why are we getting, captions? Candace was right about Israel's blackmail from the same person who was uncovering the truth about Charlie from Turning Point the same day that texts are released proving that Charlie was changing on Israel. Like, what? And I'm talking to the staff and former staff and current staff about what was going on. And I'm getting calls 2 weeks before Charlie was murdered. Alex Jones is getting calls from them. Marjorie Taylor Greene is getting calls from them. And we're getting invited to be a part of their conference. People who ideologically have been blacklisted, And I'm told, oh, you're blacklisted because of the pressure of donors and all this stuff. And then I'm told after, it's just the FBI. They found the killer. It's a lone guy. Don't worry about it. No, Charlie wasn't changing his view on Israel. No, Charlie wasn't thinking differently. And then it's like, yeah, but he was. And now you're making it more suspicious because if it didn't matter that he was changing his mind in Israel, then why did everyone try to hide it for a month? And why did they lie to us for a month about it? Do you get what I'm saying? If it doesn't matter, if it's not important, if it's irrelevant, if it's like, oh, well, yeah, like it's like this. Imagine if you're like, well, shortly before Charlie's murder, he said he no longer liked blueberry ice cream. Like, oh, okay, that's fucking irrelevant.
Wow, blueberry ice cream?
And if somebody said, hey, I have a question. Before Charlie was murdered, did he change his opinion on blueberry ice cream? And I would go, oh, yeah. He said he didn't like blueberry ice cream. Yeah. Anyways, what does that have to do with his
woman, though?
It wasn't. It's a legal threat towards me.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it takes
we're not
a certain.
saying he didn't threaten anyone physically or anything like that. There's no threats.
No, like violent physical threat.
No.
But it takes a certain type of person to do anything underhanded towards a woman like that, just to get to her boss. You know what I mean? Like a good, upstanding, moral Christian man wouldn't be the one to thinly veil legal.
He's
legal threats.
He's tribe.
Tribe, yeah. Mm-hmm. I do know.
That's why, even though I'm a Christian, I just really don't like the phrase "Christ is King." No,
Christ is King is super.
That was one of the anti-Christ is King people.
Yeah.
That was going out.
That was Jordan Peterson's documentary, like his little video, right? That was funded by no Christians.
Yeah,
not a single.
A lot
Christian.
of non-Christians and Hindus involved in that one.
A lot of zero Christians.
Yeah, a lot of zero. That was a good phrase. A lot of zero Christians.
I'm working
were
on my
involved.
engineer language so that if we ever encounter any at UF, I won't get in trouble.
Where's my anxiety pen?
I need to ask them any questions.
I need an anxiety pen. It's my freaking anxiety pen. It's not a vape. It's an anxiety pen.
Now all you need are some Discord messages of you saying slurs towards people 4 years ago.
Give me my dog. It's gonna sit here for the next 5 hours.
Hassan may not be part of a tribe, but he certainly acts like it.
Yeah. No, I'm just I'm just trying to make peace with this. But anyways, I want to play a couple clips here from the interview with Alex Jones. Why is this? This is barely going on. And I sometimes like this X makes no sense to me because sometimes like clips do really well, and sometimes clips just don't do well. So I don't know why. Like sometimes things just like something will just like do really well. Okay. I wanted to go to this thing here. We want to talk about it in a second. Just so you guys know, I want to talk about the transgender activist that is threatening to kill us. So I want to play the clip here from Alex Jones. He asked me if there's any other things that we should be and care about. Here was a 2-minute clip of my interview with Alex. Watch this. Now, some radical transgender leftists have threatened to murder me tomorrow night. They threatened to murder me for my perspectives publicly. We're trying to get them arrested and put in prison right now before the event. You can see it on my page. Thanks to Olivia Krolchek, who's trying to get this person fired, and we're trying to get the police to arrest them. They threatened to end my life, have called the Rift, when I run this network, they call it evil and deserving worse than to be canceled, and then said, hey, they're coming with guns. They use the phrase guns. And X won't take these posts down. People, why would X will take down if you say the N-word? If you say Jews control the world, they'll hide a post. But if you threaten to kill me, that sends a message to me. And I have prominent people of the tribe mocking me, like E.L. Jacoby. No one wants to kill you. When then I produce messages of people in my emails threatening to come find me and murder me, doxing me. I have to move every year from getting doxed.
Let me ask this larger question. Let me ask this larger question.
Yeah.
Specifically, you're saying you knew about information. Have you seen these text messages, or you say for legal reasons you can't release it? I don't understand that. I mean,
yes, I've seen plenty of text messages, of which some are going to be released, that will continue to verify the claims that I've made, or I would not have made these claims. That's what I'm saying. You will continue to see more information released. And by the way, I want to reiterate, I am not saying that Israel killed him or even suggesting that. What I'm saying is there is a cabal of people who are Zionists, and some of them are powerful Jews that are also Zionist Jews. And because not all Jews are Zionist and not all Jews are a part of this group. So I'm not making a blanket statement here on any race or group of people. Yeah, there's the man that wants to kill me, by the way. What I'm saying, yeah, Alex, it looks like you with long hair, honestly. That's crazy. Don't ever become transgender. I'm joking. You've been looking sexy recently. No homo, but you've been gotten trimmed. You're looking fit. You're looking buff. I feel a little bit, maybe a yes homo a little bit, honestly, because I'm feeling a little bit like you've been trying and it's been working. Look at that. Oh, let's go. Side by side.
I don't know if
Father
you
and
press. Was that 400 you were benching?
Said father and son saved him.
Yeah. I think so. I think that's about what it was.
Well, that's on the machine, though. It's a little different than the bar.
I love him. Yeah, I love people were so mad about, people get so mad about my fitness posts, and it's like, what? Why? Like they get every you know who's the most insufferable culture? It's literally gym people. Like you just go like, hey man, I'm just like trying to do this machine or something. It's like, dude, in powerlifting competitions, we don't use that. Like, okay, well,
Thankfully, I'm not powerlifting.
I am not even a bodybuilder.
Dude,
I don't know.
I did powerlifting for a year, and truth be told, it's always the people who are new to powerlifting who are biggest jackasses about it, because usually the biggest dude in the gym is always the nicest. And so I didn't thankfully have that experience. But then again, I don't post my lifts very frequently. I don't think I've ever posted a lift on X. Maybe I should see what people say.
I want to say this. Candace also released a clip, though, about this that she says she's going to release. Now, I'm not going to say, I'm trying to say this. Look, I should have probably clarified. Some of the messages I haven't seen myself, but I've been in conversations with people who have messages, who have told me they have them. I've been in conversations with people who've said they've seen messages, and these are all reliable people. And a lot of people just, I said, I've had this conversation with Charlie, or Charlie told me this. Like, I know someone in Turning Point that said Charlie was afraid that some of the people that were his donors were on the Epstein list, like were on Epstein Island. Like, I know people said some crazy stuff, and it's reliable, my opinion. When and if she drops this, It's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna call Alex. I'm gonna go back on Alex's show when and if she drops, even if it's tomorrow, whatever. I'm like, Alex, we need to go back on. This is crazy because I feel like I've been vindicated in this, where like everyone around me has been like, no, I just think it's probably not likely. It's probably not likely. And I'm like, dude, if you really saw what I was seeing, you know, I can't just like tell my staff, my team, I can't tell you guys watching this, I can't just tell people sensitive information that especially if it's important and people for some reason tell you don't tell people, like, and it's like about someone's murder, and like, please don't talk about this message, like, please don't tell people the contents of what I just spoke to you about. You can't. It's journalistic integrity.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It's source protection. And so I am like, I had to get verbal, like written writing from Josiah Moody, who I mentioned, who currently still works there at the Charlie Kirk show. Technically, they're one of his clients. Technically, he's like, you know, contractor.
He's a contract, yeah.
Yeah, but still, I mean, he's not a W-2. But you know, and what he said, that they wouldn't W-2 him originally because of his because I guess his adjacent to a certain podcaster.
Oh yeah.
But that they were changing their mind on some things and were becoming friendly with that said podcaster in terms of opening up to maybe that they weren't mortal enemies. That's even crazier. That's some interesting info.
Yeah, that's wild.
I'll probably text that podcaster and tell him that info, but I'll just leave that info in a neutral place. But it was changing bad. Now here's the point. She says this, listen to this, and I'm going to explain to you why I've been so convinced that this is the only claim I'll continue to make, right? This is the only claim I'm going to continue to make, that Tyler Robinson was not acting alone. Okay? That's all I'm going to say, that I'm convinced that he was not acting alone. Because that doesn't implicate anybody.
Nope, nobody's implicated.
I just don't think he was alone in this. Here's what she says she's going to drop, and I hope she drops it tomorrow.
One more thing rather explosively. 3 people told me off record. 2 people who have this in a written communication from Charlie. One who is a Turning Point USA donor, and I would say very much one of the white knights in this. The very day before Charlie Kirk died, he expressed that he thought he was going to be killed. He told these people, I think they're going to kill me. Okay? He did not express that to me, so I am telling you this based off the testimony of 3 people. And I am saying this because I hope that these people, who I think are good, will be inspired to come forward with that. Now, again, those conversations I had were off record. I honor that. If I say it's off record, it stays off record. But I'm hoping that watching what I am doing and feeling the energy that is rising across the world for people who want to know what the heck happened on 9/10, that, you know, they will be brave and they will say, yeah, Charlie did the day before he died think that he was going to be killed, and maybe tell us, who is they? Well, for once and for all, who is they? Who is the they that he thought were going to kill him? Now, to answer.
What do you make of that, Braeden?
I really hope it gets dropped tomorrow, because that'll basically be an I was right to every single person that attacked her. And the cool thing is, my mom has been listening to her a lot recently, so maybe she'll kind of start seeing a little bit of the side of this that so many of us have already started to see, in that, you know, maybe Charlie Kirk wasn't a fan of blueberry ice cream, and that was, you know, not a great thing for his future. But I don't think he acted alone 100%. Like you said, there's no way that somebody could disassemble the rifle that shoots a 30-06 that does not do that to a neck of a person. He changed. He got up onto the roof, dropped the weapon, went back, changed again, got up onto the roof, assembled the gun, shot Charlie, disassembled the gun, changed, put it in a bag, ran away, changed back again, ran a mile with a gun just in a bag, put it in the woods, and then went to Dairy Queen a couple hours later to get some chicken tenders to celebrate. And then some old guy, was it George Zim? Is that his name? He says I was the shooter so that he could have enough time to get away. Like, that's just, it's all stupid. And the more you look at it, and the longer you take just like analyzing, even as gross as it is, the footage, the longer you look at it, the more you realize that there's something super wrong with it. And so this idea that we should just trust everybody blindly is just ridiculous. I want to see if Candace has, because you know more than I do, I want to see if she has potential names, more names. I mean, you said
They do. There's more
Okay,
names.
so I want that.
There's more names. There's more people. There's more people. Like I had someone call me today who knew stuff that was was close to Charlie that had told me some other things as well, and they're saying they're like, hey, I watched your Alex interview and this is good. Like, thanks for dropping some of these names and thanks for bringing some of this stuff out there. It's good because a lot of this is out of fear. People don't want to be named, and someone in the chat said like it's a fucking soap opera. It is true. But I want to say this. Do you want to see something even crazier? Remember the Josh Hammer tweets?
Yep.
So remember this when he said on the 9th, this one, that it was based, the idea that he retweeted a tweet from 2013, by the way. Very odd to dig that up.
There's plenty of new tweets calling for the death penalty. Why would he do it? Yeah, why would he find this
Now,
one?
everybody's saying that he was talking about Irina Zarutska. I guess Josh Hammer. I don't know. He has me blocked. Again, very normal.
See, I don't know who this is. This one's a new one for me. Like there's
Josh-
always, every time I open X, there's a new
Josh
person.
Hammer, I don't even know who his audience is. He's one of these like think tank people that just
Okay.
for some reason is well funded and exists and you don't know why.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he says specifically that I guess I had some of the people message me like, hey, take this down. Like he was talking about Irina's roots gun. I didn't back that up. I was like, oh shit, sorry. I guess I'm spreading fake news. Well, apparently Candace says there's no information that says he was talking about Irina, and there was no new information that day. However,
So it's cryptic, if anything.
well, he wrote that, but maybe he was talking about Irina, right?
Yeah.
You guess what he wrote the next day that when Charlie was murdered, alleged. Look at this.
4
execution.
p.m.
Public execution. So after writing about the need for public executions the day before,
Wait.
the day that Charlie's murdered, he writes that it was a public execution.
That was during it. That was an hour after it happened. Assuming
Yes.
that clock is Eastern, because we went live at 3:00 to cover it.
Assuming these are real, by the way. So
I was going to say, if this is real.
assuming I haven't verified. So I'm just letting you know. I mean, it's got Sam Parker's name on it. So I mean, I guess I'll just let Sam Parker take the hit on that one.
Yeah.
But it's like, by the way, because it's like there's how could, I mean, if he would have said like, if he would have just said like, dude, he was executed, then maybe there's not a link, right? The word executed or public execution, they're similar, but they're not the same thing. But just like we need to bring back public execution the next day, public execution right after Charlie's murdered.
That's weird.
I talked to the guy that Josh Hammer. I was actually talking to him today. Josh Hammer was interviewing with somebody when Charlie was murdered, the day Charlie was murdered. And I guess I shouldn't say anything because then Josh will get this. I'm not going to say anything, but I'm just going to say that Josh Hammer being on the phone to allegedly struggle session Charlie Kirk over the Jew question, and then lying vehemently for the last month about him, and then being proven wrong, and then having people like Brandon Tatum come out and be like, he can't even defend himself. Defend himself against what? Defend himself against what he said?
Defend himself against you? Because you're the one attacking him right now. You're the one attacking everybody who might have implicated him.
Yeah, you're the one saying that you guys were wrong. So we'll take the apology. Now I need to watch my language and my heated up. Like listen, I need to like. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I know there's like a ton of spiritual grifting in this. Mendoza and I were just talking about. I'm not going to mention who they are or anything, but like there's people that are like, the flat Earth is real, and like my faith in Christ is what leads me. We have to fight together with Christ to expose the flat Earth, and it's all just like boomer baiting,
Yeah.
It's boomer baiting, like to throw God into things. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who probably think that my comments about God are disingenuous or whatever, and that's okay. I could see why, because there's a lot of disingenuous talk about faith, and a lot of it's really, really annoying. It's a lot of people just, like I mentioned, a lot of people are just like kind of like using Catholicism as a club, and I think there's a lot of people that are fighting over who's the right church, and did you join the church, brother? And we got to fight with God, but is your life changed by God? Is your heart being changed by God? And I have a lot of work to do, so I'm not. Like, if you see me at this office, like I'm very stressed out. Like, I just think I just hired an assistant today to help me with some stuff that I need to do. There's things in the company that needs to be done I need help with that I need an assistant to help me to get done. I'm with my two companies. And I'm stressed in here, man. You hear me yelling at computers and, slamming things. And I am. I'm just on edge, man. I'm on edge. I'm separated from my family. I don't see AOC crying for me. being separated from my family who are in Australia, and I'm banned from Australia. So it's a sad reality. I don't see anyone crying for me. And, I had a lot of bad things happen. We don't need to keep repeating them every episode. But, I woke up today and I've been unstressed. We're flying-ish. I'm not flying. We're taking the Bright Line up to Orlando. They're going from Orlando to Gainesville to speak at UF tomorrow night. And, someone did threaten to kill me. We showed you that clip. And
Threatened to kill everyone at Rift? Like Rift deserves
yeah.
worse than cancel.
But I mean that. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I think, if they shot me in the neck, by the way, and it didn't go through the back end of my neck, please research what happened, because that wouldn't make sense to me. But I am reminded, and I'm not making it more than it is, like, these people are going to kill me, because, like, honestly, I'm probably just as likely to get killed by a black person just walking in the street of Fort Lauderdale. So
very true.
So this isn't some drama and some religious thing, but like I'm being serious. Like we got to be prepared to meet our Maker, and we've got to really be seeking to do what's right and are spiritually correct. Because, man, I am really brokenhearted. The amount of years that I've wasted in my flesh, the amount of years that I've wasted, like the amount of years that I've wasted just drinking and partying and like not even drinking and partying, just doing nothing, just looking at TikTok or like working, right? Just like working. What is working? Like all these things. And like, I haven't been close to God. I haven't been obedient to God. I haven't been diligent. I haven't had a relationship with Christ, and I see a lot of people that become religious and they replace a relationship with God with religion. And religion's important. It is. I know people don't like religion. Religion's important. It's important to have authority. It's important to have sacrament. It's important to be obedient to God. And God says not to forsake gathering together. And he says, Paul says, to trust the teachings that we taught you and the word of God, to follow the traditions that we've given you. He says that, to follow Christian tradition. But what is it about? It's about being changed by God. And I think that the more I'm becoming open to the Lord, I'm realizing how much I'm not like God, how much I am totally arrogant, selfish, ignorant, debauched, and perverted, especially the guy. We're all pretty perverted in our heads, but also me, I've done a lot of weird stuff in my life. And yeah, I never really had any conscience about it. And I'm starting to develop a conscience, and my sins that I committed are never against other people. Like I don't really do things to people to hurt them or harm them. Like I mentioned, I've only defended myself in court. I've never sued anyone. I don't go after people, But man, life is so empty without my kids, but also life is so empty right now. It's so empty when we're not pursuing God. And even in these weeks as I'm trying to pursue him, the days like today that I'm living in the flesh, I'm stressed out and I'm living in fear, right? Because got to do this, got to do that, you got to do this. It's like, I don't really need to do anything. And it kind of dawned on me, after the small hats took out my bank account, literally took me out a week after the blacks drained my account and took my card and just drained me. So I got drained. Mm-hmm. It wasn't by white people. And that's okay. This is the price we pay to live in the world. It's punishment, I think, maybe for leaving God. It's literally punishment in our country. We lose World War II and we get punished. We fought on the wrong side. Allegedly. According to Grok. Because we start saying that now, according to Grok.
According to Grok.
So that it was not what I'm saying. It's according to Grok.
I asked Grok.
Yeah, so Grok said.
Mm-hmm.
Grok said to kill people, but not me. That's what AI said. That's dangerous.
Yeah, AI, we reprimand that.
We reprimand that.
We do not condone.
No, but I was going to say, I'm just really sad about Charlie dying, and I just know he didn't go out that day to die, and now we're all debating. We're divided over it. We're divided over everything. But the question is like, do I think Charlie was saved, and do I think he knew God? I think he did. I think he exemplified Christ, and I feel bad because I was about to be friends again. I just fixed my relationship with them. And unless my meeting with Andrew Colvett goes really well, the direction they're taking looks like I probably am not going to be invited still. But maybe I am. And maybe I'm wrong. But I was like, oh, good. So, I had a lot of hope. What I'm saying is I kind of I'll start to fear You know, maybe you're out there and you're fearing financially. You fear like for me, it's like I'm separated from my family. I've lost all my money. I've had my car taken. I've, been lost income. I'm having to rebuild my income, strategy and whatnot. And we have to make this work, this business work. And it's, it's a challenge that I'm trusting in the Lord. I'm trusting the Lord for my business. I'm just putting it on to the Lord. And I'm not a Catholic, but there's this idea that my friend, told me today about kind of like offering it up, right? For someone who doesn't know when to pray for them. It's like kind of like offering it up for those who are in purgatory. It's like just offering it up. Like I'm going to offer up, I might be in pain, but I'm going to use my pain to offer up a time to pray and to intercede for somebody else who doesn't have anyone interceding for them. I'm going to take this time to pray for my family, pray for my kids, pray for my employees, pray for their families. Then I'm going to offer it up. There are several gentlemen right now. This is how serious it is. This is such a dark time spiritually. There are several gentlemen who are prominent theologian/monks in the Catholic Church who are currently on day 3 of a water-only fast that they're praying that for God to help to complete my transformation, conversion. And it's not even just to Catholicism, either into the Catholic Church or the Orthodox Church. They said, even though they told me like, well, Orthodox can go to heaven, but the only sure way is to the Catholic Church is what they told me. But but who knows? But there are people that are hurting themselves, offering up and taking in the pain of hunger right now, just so that they care that much to tell God, please help this guy. And I don't take that lightly. So to those guys, thank you for sacrificing that. But also I wanted to say seriously about this. If Charlie's death didn't put you in a position that I'm in, to where you're really contemplating your own death and you're really thinking about the seriousness and the weight of life, then I don't know what else is going to wake you up. And today's the day of salvation. You got to wake up. And I know, like, someone could see me in my day to day and be like, "Oh, that guy's heart's not changing. He's just like yelling at the door again." Which, by the way, it is a terrible freaking door. Getting in here is like that thing. It's just always
the keypad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh,
it's
it hates me.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's horrible. It's horrible. But because I'm stressed, but I also admit, I often work in my own power. I work under my own authority, and I'm not leaning on the Lord. I'm not casting my cares, my anxieties, my burdens to God. I'm just not being obedient. And that's what I'm going to be working on in this next season, is like how to be more obedient to Christ. It's like when you go to bed and you just want to look at porn and jerk off or something like that. It's like just like not doing that. And for most human beings, that kind of thing is that's what you struggle, right? Not just with jerking off, but because like maybe for girls it'd be hard to jerk your dick off when you don't have one. You know what I mean?
Unless you're the guy that threatened us.
Unless you want to get one, which you can buy them now apparently. No, but I was gonna say, it's like when you're about to fear and have a freak out at your computer in the middle of your show. I'm not saying that happened in this show. I'm just saying we have like a public freak out at your
if that
technology.
ever happens.
If it ever happens to people,
Yeah.
not anyone here at this table.
No.
Can you just calm down and say, Lord, there's no reason for me to sin, to be angry, to curse, and to do these. Like, can you just have self-control and commit yourself to God? That's what I want to learn. And you know what? If I become Orthodox, the Catholics don't like it. If I become Catholic and the Orthos don't like it, that's not what I care about. What I care about is when I wake up every day, is my heart clean? Do I know God? Have I confessed my sins? And do I go to bed the same way, knowing that even though I didn't do perfect, I tried my best, and where I couldn't be good, God gave me grace and filled in the gap. And that's what I want to learn. That's what I'm trying to take home, because I want to know that if I go to sit down with you and one of us gets killed, Braeden, whether you get shot, whether I got shot, whether Henny gets shot, we'll pray it's Henny, not us. But whether he gets shot, does your family know? Do you know what's going to happen when you die? And I don't know right now what would happen if I died. It's kind of a scary place to live.
Nobody knows. Nobody ever has that 100% assurance. That's not what we're guaranteed. What we're guaranteed is, obviously, now this is where I get to come in with the Catholic position, is we're given the best assurance possible through the church that Christ founded, right? And so I love my ortho bros. I'm not, ragging on them at all. But there was always something lacking, and it wasn't in the sense that I'm looking for more. It was that through my search, I noticed that there wasn't connection, right? And you said it just earlier, where it's like, oh, it's not really about religion. I want to tie, religion is just the Latin word for a binding relationship. So religion is simply a binding relationship. Ironically, and this is I've gotten in trouble for saying this, and I don't, you could go your entire life without actually reading a Bible and still make it to heaven. So it's not this idea of, we'll just pick up the book, grab the Bible. This isn't the Bible, I'm just for an example, and read and read and read, and then you'll get into heaven. That's not how you achieve salvation. Right? Philippians 4:7 says, through prayer and petition, bring your supplications to the Lord. Right? In Matthew 11:28, Jesus tells his apostles, he says, come to me, all who are heavy burdened, for my yoke is easy. And it's this idea of, I will give you rest. And so that was something that I had been searching for a long time, even growing up in a Christian household. And there were, obviously, like you said, there's things that you do throughout your life that you disagree with, that you wish you never did. And there is part of that where it's like, yes, and also you can't allow that to hold you back. There's 3 stages in terms of sin and our reaction to it on the negative side. The first is guilt, where you feel guilty for the thing that you did and you regret it and you wish you could take it back, but you can't, so you push forward. And I call that godly guilt, where God gives you that guilt so as to wake you up, to go, hey, come on, like, you got to change. The step beyond that is whatever word you would want to use, before shame, but after guilt. A lot of people have different kind of whatever. And that is
Shilt,
sure. And that is the stage where you start to feel shameful. It's no longer I'm guilty and I feel bad about the thing that I did. It's I feel shameful of it. And that's the stage where Satan slowly starts to creep in your mind with, well, maybe you are beyond saving. Maybe there is no, maybe this is too much. Maybe God won't actually forgive this. And once you reach shame, you've accepted that you're just too far gone. And a lot of people get to that stage and they never think to come back. And so my desire, and what I would like to think a lot of people, within the church, the desire is that no matter what stage of guilt your process is at, there is that return. And that's why when you make that binding relationship through religion, I mean, in John chapter 6, it's verses 30 all the way through 60, Jesus says 5 separate times, maybe more. He says, those who eat my flesh and drink my blood will abide in me and I will abide in them. Right? So Jesus sets those implications. That's how we enter into that binding relationship with him. And so the Orthodox have valid sacraments. They do. That's something that the Catholic Church teaches. I don't disagree with that. I found more in terms of structure, I should say. There is that definitive structure that holds me within the Catholic Church, and that's why I love it so much. It's because there isn't structure in real life. I mean, this is super stupid compared to everything that you've been going through. I just lost 1.9 million follower TikTok account. I just lost several brand deals. That was money. I don't have a family to take care of. I'm not married yet. I don't have kids yet, want to get married, want to have kids. But the struggle is, well, shoot, what am I going to do if I can't provide for my family financially? That's my whole purpose here, is to provide for them, to take care of them so as to lead them down the right path and to heaven. I mean, as a man, that's your goal. Your goal is to get your wife into heaven. Your wife's goal should be to get you into heaven, and your goal combined should be to get your kids into heaven. And you should always marry someone that that should you be gone would get your children into heaven. That's without a doubt like the top criteria. But I'm sitting here like you are, and you're going, well, shoot, what am I supposed to do? I just lost this. And at the end of the day, the realization that we have to have is that it's all covered. That doesn't mean we get to sit back and do nothing and just let it come to us and, oh, it's going to be fine and you don't have to worry about it. You're allowed to think about things, and you're allowed to push on these things. What you have to do is, and the story of Job, you know the story of Job, obviously.
Yeah, 100%.
The best message that I get from the story of Job is you're allowed to question God, but you're not allowed to accuse him. You're allowed to say, God, why is this happening in my life? What am I supposed to do here? Where am I supposed to go? Who should I be around? Who should I not be around? Questions are perfectly acceptable. You're allowed to ask God questions. What you're not allowed to do is say, God, I think you made a mistake. God, you did something wrong here. God, I don't like how this is playing out. And what we often get caught up in our minds is this idea of, well, I don't like where I'm at in life, And so I want to know why. And so I'm going to tell God that I think he's wrong. But you are probably, well, you are exactly where God has foreseen you going. He knows everything. That doesn't mean that he controls your free will. You have the free will. You have the choices to accept, deny, reject, or live in the promises of Christ. That is up to you, because we have a Father in heaven who loves and cares for us to the point where we are allowed to willingly reject him. As silly of a mistake as that would be for eternal damnation, he gives us that decision, because love without free will isn't true love. And if God is the embodiment of true love, then he would want us to love him just as much. And so he gives us that opportunity. And so what we have to realize is there is no accusation. That doesn't work. It never works. I'll tell you, when I was struggling with porn back when I was like 15, 16 years old, I would cry every night on my birthday, because I would be like, this birthday, this is the one where I'm man enough to not do it. I'm going to stop watching porn. I'm going to quit it. And then a month later, I'd be back to watching porn. And then the voice would come back into my head and be like, well,
what does struggling with porn look like to you? Is that just like, you just jerk off sometimes to porn, or is it like you're like addicted, like you like
addicted,
looking at it all day, or
addicted?
Just like,
there's like a need. There is a desire to watch. Here, hold on.
Yeah,
wait.
Most
Let me find the
guys jerk
page.
off all the time. I mean, that's like pretty much that's pretty much the norm, right? I mean, and I think it's most guys would jerk off probably mostly every day. Most guys do.
Mm.
I'm saying, but I don't know if every guy's jerking off looking at pornography. I'm not sure.
No,
about
of
that.
course. And obviously no one should be jerking off. No one should be looking at porn. None of those things are healthy or edifying to your relationship with the Lord. And the point I'm making here is chapter 4 of my book. Every chapter I put a quote in. And this quote
is called jerking off to porn.
This is
chapter 4.
The sex talk.
Oh, is that what this literally is?
This is literally the sex talk. And the quote I put is from Phil Volatile, I guess is his author name, from Crushed Black Velvet. It goes, I've looked at so much porn that every woman I meet looks vaguely familiar. And I think a lot of guys, unfortunately, can resonate with that, because they understand the detriment that is porn, but this idea that it really is genuinely a separation. And so it wasn't until, and this was over 4 years ago now, that I gave it, as opposed to this, I'm going to take care of this. I'm never going to do it again. I'm not going to be the guy. It was this realization of, I can't do it. Physically impossible. And so even now, when you get a lustful thought, or you have something enter into your mind that you don't want to, there's a really great distinction that you have to understand. Is there mortal sin requires your compliance. And so the way that you enter into mortal sin is you think of something bad, and then you entertain it, knowing that it's bad. See, the difference between us and Jesus, among many, obviously Jesus was perfect. He was never even tempted. The thought of, well, no, never crossed his mind. So when Satan is tempting Jesus in the desert at the end of Luke chapter 2, I believe, Satan is saying, well, bow down to me and all the kingdoms that you see will be yours. Well, it's written that man shall not live on bread alone. He's tempting Jesus, but the thought never even crosses Jesus' mind to accept Satan's temptation. The difference is when Satan tempts us, the thought crosses our mind. But our entering into mortal sin really is dependent on, do we entertain it? And so even now with lustful thoughts, it doesn't even have to be with lust. It could be with violent thought. Like you could be so mad at someone, you're thinking, man, I hate that person. It could be any thought that would enter you into a state of mortal sin. Allowing it is what pulls you away, pushing it out and asking the Lord. And this is why I use lust as an example, because in 2 Timothy 2:22, it says, flee from youthful lusts, because it's the only sin in the history of the Bible, in the history of the world, that we are told to run from because we can't win. Entertaining it, whether it be to fight it or to enjoy it, will lead us down the same path. And so we have to flee from youthly lusts. That is the cornerstone of all of it. And I really bring porn because it kind of opens up the gateway. We know where porn comes from. We know who Alvin Goldstein, one of the fathers of hardcore pornography in the United States, did an interview in the 70s. It's on his Wikipedia page saying, we hate Jesus Christ. We hate his daughters. I thought you were literally
going to say it came from the Balfour Declaration. Like I was like,
no.
He said, when the first porn video came out on the USS Liberty,
it's true. The first porn.
Can I tell you the amount of do you know what's horrifying? I'm sorry for breaking your thing, but when we go to these colleges, I end up hanging out with the students, which I don't plan on like going. I'm like, I'm just not really interested in partying right now, you know, like, and maybe I will. Maybe we'll go out and have some fun. I don't know. I'm like on the fence about a lot of things. But like, I get in the car with these like young adults, you know, that to drive me places, and they talk to me about politics, and they all say the same thing. It's like, yeah, man, that's crazy. I love what you do, man. You know, like, do you know, like in 1938 or something, there was this Balfour Declaration was signed, and then, you know, 2 years later, the USS Liberty was attacked or whatever. And you're like, really? It's like, yeah, man, it's crazy. And like, now they're in everything, you know? They're in media, you know, they even created rap music. You're like, okay.
It's the most basic.
You know, but you sit there and it's like, wow, so you've watched an episode of Nick Fuentes. It's good. And I by the way, I don't mean that in a sarcastic way. Good. He's waking a lot of people up. He's done a very good job at that. But like to the people, it's just like it's like a Jew 101. You know what I mean? Where you're like, yep, buddy. It's like, yep, I'm aware that these people control everything. It's like,
now some radical transgender leftists have threatened to murder me.
Oh.
Wait, what? What? That was really weird.
All right.
All right.
Technology.
No, but
let's yell at it.
No. Okay, but on the porn thing, bringing out, I just want to bring up the fact that but so yeah, you used to. That's an interesting statement, but also it's like, hey, it's like I used to look at a lot of porn. I also still do, but I used to too. No, I love those statements, right? This is me 4 years ago, drinking, passed out, being a complete slob, not controlling my life, and this is me doing the same things now. So I love those memes. However, no, I mean,
but that's why I bring it up. It's because like you say, well, this is me now and nothing's changed or whatever. But I bring it up not as a point to brag because it had nothing to do with me. I allowed the Lord to speed up my legs to get the hell away from it. And I want to use my testimony to kind of inspire other people to understand that they can do it as well, right? They can't do it on their own because nobody can. I can't do it on my own. But I've been protected because I sought help. And so that's like just a word of encouragement, you know?
Well, yeah, no, and I know, and I think, I mean, definitely like the biggest issue in my life is not jerking off to porn right now, but I will say that the issue that I have is I don't, someone asked if I'm going through a midlife crisis. What I need to know is I need to know how to lead this company. I need to know how to lead my family. And I need to know what to do because what we're attempting to do here, it hasn't been done. Look, I could just work on my own and make money and just have a good life and just make money and just pay myself and sit at this desk and rant to people. And quite frankly, I don't think my views would go down if no one else was on the show and I just spoke to people about life every day and it would be fine. And that's not what I want to do though. You know, I want to start a movement. I want to do something great, but I'm telling you this right now. I am radically surprised. I am radically surprised at the way that God is changing me. And I was going to say something that I want to bring up that's, you know, a little bit gay, but maybe not. Is that, you know, I was kind of wondering, I'm like, man, for a long time, even my content, like on X, has really just been, who's Elijah mad at today? You know? It's like a wheel being spun. And there's only 3 options. It's like black, Jews, and women. You know what I mean?
What about Indians?
I said Jews.
Oh.
They're just poo Jews.
Who's?
They're called Jews.
Fair enough.
But I would just kind of like post things and post crazy things. I still do a little bit of that. But I feel like, you know, I feel like I'm starting to get back the sensitivity of like knowing what matters and what's valuable in this life. I'm starting to get back that sense of urgency that like there are issues that are important. Like how when I first started this, when I like cared about exposing the radical left, people forget the whole Women's March movement, all that stuff in this 2016, the March for Our Lives, the movements in 2016, 2017, 2018, Antifa, which, by the way, in 2016 was the first time I got concussed from Antifa. It's crazy. It's been a long time. 9 years ago, I got concussed and hit in the head by an Antifa. And now we're like, we have an Antifa roundtable today. Like, we're up very late. Okay, very late. You know, it's like, hey, did you see that video of Trump going down the stairs, the escalator, and announcing his candidacy? Like, you mean the video from 2016? Yeah, you're a little late, bud. Okay, we're very late politically, and I'm tired of the shit show. But I've decided just to be serious, because look, I mean, I want to let you guys know this. You know, we're speaking. I want to kind of end on this. We're speaking in Florida. Sorry to the locals that we haven't done a bunch of special segments yet. We are getting back to. There's so many things launching and going.
Yeah.
That we just haven't been able to do that. But please sign up for locals. We'll talk about that later. But it's like, you know, while someone is threatening to kill us, but also for some reason is saying that I'm horrible, the Democratic Socialists of America at University of Florida have been putting notes on our flyers. That, there you go, there's Braeden.
Let's go.
You got to get a picture of you're not 16 years old.
I sent Mike 4 today, so we have new photos.
Thank you.
Don't
you are
worry.
16 years old in that photo. UF College Republicans are hosting a literal versus what's a non-literal neo-Nazi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's non-literal. A literal neo-Nazi, a figurative neo-Nazi. First guy on the flyer, what the F, with stuck up with QR codes to get free Plan B.
Oh, good. See,
Plan
more
B
degeneracy.
This is not a Harry Sisson event.
Yeah, that's weird.
We're not hidden and quitting it.
Yeah, that's weird.
But you know, I just want to remind people that language is the same language we saw with Charlie Kirk when he was murdered. It was like, oh, he was a Nazi, deserved it, you know? And this dehumanizing language is important because I know that if I died, everyone would say I deserved it. And if I wouldn't get a big funeral like Charlie, and I'm not going to be remembered in history as a martyr, you know? People forget about me tomorrow, and it's a sad reality, but it's true. My family wouldn't, and I owe it to them to make sure that I'm wise and I'm doing my best. And so I just want to say to all you guys out here, you know, yeah, a lot of you guys have been around for a long time. Some of you guys have been watching the show for 5, 6, 7 years, iterations of it. I am paying. I let the tragedy of my mother dying and the church leadership that I was going to fail me, allow myself to slip into patterns of sin and destruction that have made me pay the ultimate price. I have been slandered, I have been dragged, I have been canceled, I don't even know how many times. The amount of friends that have turned on me, the amount of people that have tried to ruin my life, the amount of things, you know, I'm banned from a country, you know. I know there's several other things that I've never mentioned publicly that are bad that have happened to me as well. You know, I get blacklisted and tantalized, and I'm a fighter. And I never stop, but I've lost my soul. And I talked about the fact before a little bit, like when I was a little bit spiritual a few years ago, I was like, yeah, you know, I kind of lost my soul at Blaze, the money and everything. I've just lost my soul in general. And I am just want to say to everyone that it is both shocking and interesting that as I am planting seeds. I'm in a season of planting seeds right now. And I'm not getting it all right now. I'm not perfect right now. I'm not claiming to have some radical transformation. I'm not claiming to be perfect. If you hear that I sin or you hear that I do something wrong, you know, I keep saying it. You're going to hear it from me right now. I will do things that are wrong. I'm a sinner and I don't have my life together right now. But if I put up, I'm just saying this, don't worry about what people think about you. If you're doing anything, if you're leading, if you're a boss at a company, if you are a podcast host, if you are a dad, if you are a leader in your extended family, like you bring the family together, if you're trying to lead anything and do anything, the people under you will just criticize you, and that's the fair game. That's what it is. And like it's like this podcast, everyone thinks that, like everybody in the audience, there was a comment every day. If everyone could do this better than me, and fine, maybe you could. I don't fucking know. Go start your own podcast. You know, yeah, we're not even that popular. Go do your own thing. Everyone always thinks it's like it's my dead body. You know, everyone thinks that they know what you should be doing and how you should be leading and how you should be operating and how you should be spending your time and how you should be spending your money. And everyone thinks that. And you know what? At a certain point, it's all fucking annoying to me, and I get tired of it. And I've let the noise of people and the constant just, you know, the constant noise from people and the, like, you know, I can feel the dark energy. I can feel at the public criticisms, the private criticisms, the gossip. I can feel negative energy all the time, everywhere. And it's the price you pay for putting yourself out there. And I'm not complaining about it. It's like Meghan and Harry when they're like, we want to be private. I mean, like a movie star, and like, it's like people like, I'm not complaining. I'm an intentionally public person. So I'm going to embrace that. I'm going to embrace that. So I'm going to be honest about where I'm at spiritually and just say, you know what? I'm not sorry to any of you. I'm not sorry to anybody in this room. I'm not sorry to any of you watching at home for the choices I made, but you know what? I am genuinely sorry to God. Like I genuinely feel bad for wasting my time. And the only person I'm sorry to is probably my family for not being the person that I should have been the last few years and letting excuses keep me from developing. And I mean developing because I'm not doing this. I'm a born again virgin. I'm Catholic now. I went to confession. It's like, no. I'm dirty. But I know God sees me as clean. And I'm telling you how freeing this has been. I have felt like everybody reminds me how shitty of a person I am all the time. Everyone, I'm not even joking, guys, that you watch this. Like, it is bad. Like it doesn't, it's like personal people, it's like when you're in this position, everyone just doesn't, it just trust me, it's so much shit. And you hear things and people talk about you and you see things on the internet every day and you read things and you're just like, and it's fucking demoralizing. And I've let the judgments of people become my identity and just kind of embrace degeneracy. It was like, you know what? If everyone's going to talk shit all the time, they're going to say I'm doing things. I have people that constantly say I'm doing things that I'm not doing. You read articles about me and say I did stuff that never happened. I have people in my life who say I do things that I don't do. I can tell them to their face, I'm actually not doing that. And they don't believe me. And I was like, okay, fine. And you know what? That can start to creep on you. And I hope this is talking to somebody out there. It starts to creep on you and you go, you know what? Fine. If people are saying that I'm doing these things, then I'll do whatever I want. If people are going to think I'm a bad person, then why would I ever try to be a good person? And you know what? Sometimes we think that it's bad that people don't, think we're good or they don't like us. Or, you know what's good about that is that their opinions don't matter. What matters is what God says. And God says that you can be saved. God says that you can be washed white as snow. God says that your identity is in him. Your God says that the whole world can be against you. Like the whole world was against many of his people. But like Elijah in Romans 11, like it says in Romans 11, it says that Elijah was in despair, the prophet, because he said to God, the Israel is evil. Sounds like today, another Elijah. He's like, Israel's evil. They're killing all the good people. They're killing all the prophets. And they want to kill me. And God said, who are you? You are looking at the world through your lens, Elijah. He's like, there's only one. I'm the only one left. And a lot of us feel like that. It's like, I'm just like, why even try? I'm black-pilled, That's how I've been feeling to God. Why even try? There's no point. Like, I can't get people to catch my vision. I can't get the people that I need, the donors. I can't get this going. Lord, why even try to start a company? What even is the point? And what's the point to follow you? And God says to Elijah what? He tells him, he goes, there are 7,000 other people that I've set aside. 7,000 is a significant number. 7,000 that I've set aside that are still following me, that have not been corrupt, that have not given up. Like, don't give up hope. There's more than what meets the eye. And I think what changed in my heart and what's changing is that I realized that it's like, I used to be sad that people think I'm a shitty person. I used to be kind of like bummed out that like the things that are written about me. I used to be bummed out that like people tend to like give me the benefit of the negative doubt. Like even Milo Yiannopoulos said that. He's like, why do I just always, when I hear something bad happen, like sexually or something, I just assume it's true about you? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I guess because I'm the only person that doesn't defend myself. I don't go out and like try to defend myself against accusations. I'm not like that. I just let people just fucking say what you want, But I think that with that, because there's no trying to look good to people, remember, sometimes if it's only God who's going to see you and only God who can recognize you, that's the best place you can be. And I realize that I'm actually at an advantage because it's irrelevant to me if people ever think I'm a good person. It's irrelevant to me if people ever think that I'm fantastic or they can think I'm doing whatever I want. That's fine. And their thoughts don't matter. What matters is that God has declared that I can be saved. God has declared that he can make me clean. God has declared that I can change. And I feel like I can't, but I feel and believe more in what God says than what my heart feels. And that's a change that I'm going through. And I just want to encourage everyone here, I'll end on this, to just remember, don't be like how I was. Don't be like Elijah the prophet where you just feel black-pilled and you feel so empty. Remember, there's so much hope. Every day it says, today is the day of salvation. I read that in the scripture, today. Today is the day to join in salvation. It's a living thing. It's not a prayer you say, you know, it's not an altar call. It's not a church you're baptized into. It's not an event, a catechism, you know. Salvation is a daily partnership. It's something that you join in with God every day and you accept and you receive. And yeah, maybe once you're saved, you're always saved, or maybe you can lose your salvation. I'm not going to debate that. The point is that you join in with God. And if you don't want to join with God today, then don't. But share in his glory, share in the joy. And remember, it's going to be okay. Because the battle belongs to the Lord, and it says that God is victorious, that he is victory. He's conquered sin and death. And I just feel like a lot of us know these ideas, but we don't practice them. And just remember that your life, that God views you as clean. So, you know, maybe your kids don't love you. Maybe you have problems with that. Maybe you have a messy divorce. Maybe your marriage isn't going well. Maybe you're not making the money you want to make. I don't know what you're going through. Maybe your grades aren't good in school, or, you know, whatever it is you're worried about, man. I get it. And the real world, the real problems are a struggle. The real things we're going through, they're difficult, man. Maybe you're just sick with a cold or something. It sucks. But take the word of God more powerfully than any of these things. And remember, his ways are not our ways. His ways are higher than our ways. And the creator of the universe, the person who created you, loves you. He's called you to greatness. He's called you to authority. He's given you opportunity, and focus on what's worthy of praise, the Bible says. Cast all your cares and anxieties upon him because he cares for you. So just go to bed and put on some scripture, man. There's a video that I want you guys to look up as we end. If you're looking for something really powerful, there are these video series by this channel called Grace Prayer. And they have, it looks like this, it's got yellow writing. It's like walk in the favor of God. There are these like 30-minute to an hour videos. This one's called Start a New Day with the Powerful Prayer. It's crazy. It's just going through like scripture. It's really got good sounding voice. Just reading scripture and talking about things that God says about his people and things that are about God. And it's like sort of like in a way to it's literally videos to strengthen your faith. I've been listening to those at night along with Gregorian chants, because I think I have demons in my house. I'm not even joking. I think I have demons afflicting me at night. And I think I have to go see an exorcist, and it's not a joke. And I have a priest coming to bless my house, and the diocese here is going to perform an exorcism. It's crazy, but I that might sound kooky to some of you guys. Those videos are great. So it's like, just go stop at night just being on TikTok. Stop at night just being in fear. Go do some things to change. And if you feel stuck, you just start today. And I'm telling you, start planting seeds. Start going to church. Start doing the right thing, and then your heart will change. Don't wait for your heart to change. And I'm grateful to God, and I'm not going to cry on here, but I'm like actually feel like a little child on Christmas, because my heart has been so hard. I've seen so many people die, so many people stab me in the back, and I just, yeah, I'm like a gossip guy. Like people just like to talk shit about me behind my back all the time, everywhere, every fucking day. It's like I hear some stupid shit, and it's just like it wears you out. But I know God's truth is more important, so I'm blocking out the shit, and I'm listening to God's word and what God says. And it's really powerful. And I want you to do that too, if you're not already. Thank you for watching another episode of The Rift, live Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If you like videos like this, you can sign up to our locals, ElijahSchaefer.locals.com. It's a great place, a great environment. Please check it out. Just so you know, we have our hosts here, and it's really important that you follow them and support him. Braeden Sorbo just lost his TikTok. Millions of followers. It's like losing a piece of your identity. It's like the equivalent of like having a work truck with all your tools and you're a contractor, and someone steals your truck and all your tools. And
This is the reason I'm here.
Yeah, what do you do? I'm just saying, what do you do? Yeah, because we found you there.
Pray the rosary.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what do you do? So, I mean, like you said, it's not what you're going through. It's like, it doesn't matter. What you're going through is the biggest thing you're going through, okay? Yeah, I didn't get killed. Charlie Kirk got killed. It's a bigger deal than losing your car.
Yeah.
But I didn't get killed. So it's like we go through what we go through. And so we have to seek God. So I don't know. Please follow Braeden on social media. Support him. Share his stuff on Instagram, on X. Show some support for him. Where can they find you and follow you?
At Braeden Sorbo, Instagram and X. I do genuinely appreciate it. I'm going to try to get more, with my X, more active and things like that. I'm already pretty active, but I want to really be outspoken to people on there. And so, and one thing off what you said as well, I had the same thing that where it's like you were really getting spiritually attacked. I'd never had night terrors before until I started, and this is discerning Catholicism. So the closer you get to God in any aspect, the closer that you get the closer you get to the Lord, the more likely you are to be attacked, because the enemy does not want you there. And so a big thing that I recommend everybody do, even if is the rosary. Just even like a decade before you go to sleep is what I do every single night. And that is, like you said, you start your mornings with the 30-minute prayer or whatever before bed every single night. I've started doing the rosary in Latin too. The most spiritually fulfilling type like prayer that I've ever done. And so at Braeden Sorbo and social media platforms, I do genuinely appreciate everyone being here, as well as Elijah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it. I think this has been a great time. And so for all of you guys that are watching, make sure you do that. And also, I love the chat. Everyone's saying Elijah's feeling guilty from all the extra dongs he's been sucking. Someone said Elijah just needs to quit the butt sex. True. What do you think we do off air here? No, but I do love that you guys care about mine and Mendoza's relationship. And you guys do care that we go to heaven, so that's really good. Hopefully we figure that out.
Christ is king.
Yeah. Yeah. But you guys are good. Shout out to Baby Hulk and the rest of you guys that have been watching since the beginning. For those of you that are watching on locals, let me just see real fast if there is any super chats in the locals. What the heck? Do you see what's on my screen? Like what is this computer?
I can't even see your screen now.
Yeah, it's just like, give me a second. I have to check. It's just absolutely nuts. Okay. Yeah, we got a couple super chats here. All right. Doomsday Cracker sent in some memes. Do you see this? You don't see this?
I do see that. There you go. Sorry, I was typing something in chat.
Also.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Better than the one we saw on locals a little while ago.
Those are called nipples or Mike nipples.
Nipples?
They're nipdozas.
There, that's the one.
Yeah, there you go. Shout out to the rest of you guys who are there as well. The Derek, Channel B, Chanel B, E3 Stranger, Doomsday, and the rest of you guys that are in the chat. Just so you guys know, if you're in the Discord or you're in the chat, one of our longtime viewers, Noticer I Am, who is always in the chat, is not in the chat tonight, as you'll notice. Yeah. Hasn't been the last couple of days because he had gone through a very, very sad season of his life. He's lost somebody in his family, very close to him. Yeah, very close to him. And he is currently taking care of all the funeral arrangements and clean out the house, doing all the horrible stuff that comes with someone dying. So when you see him coming back in the chat, make sure everyone just to send him a little love. And if you know him or you're in the Discord and you follow him or you're in locals, maybe shoot him a DM and let him know that you see if he wants to hop on the phone and pray. Maybe he just needs a friend. He's not one to reach out. He's not one to make a big deal. He didn't even tell me. I had a guess. Just disappeared. I just didn't hear from him, and I was like, I think I know what happened. So I'm not gonna explain who or what or the details. It's just just death in the family, and please reach out because sometimes we're broken and we're hurting and we wish people would reach out, but we don't want to ask for it and bother people. So please do that. If any of you guys ever need prayer, if there's ever death in the family, and you'd like to contact me, please only serious requests. Anything that's going on, you can reach me anytime at elijah@rifttv.com. However, if you send me stupid emails like people do all the time, I will just block your email and will never talk to you. So please don't do that. Anyway, you can follow Mike Mendoza JPG on X. Have a great rest of the week always, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.